Good morning, traders. How we doing out there? Who's ready to get back into the hot seat? I've had a little bit of a rough week, but I said, you know what? I'm determined to bounce back. The question is, are you guys determined to bounce back? So what I did, tried to build a little cushion. Let's talk about it. Let's get to the action. It's Trade the Pool. What's going on, traders? How we doing out there? Who's ready to get into the action today? We got another great show for you guys, ready to take a look at some stock action. Let's see what we got on the charts today. Of course, we got a lot to talk about. We'll be taking a watch to see what happens. But hey, this morning, taking a little bit of a swing here. Let's talk first about the SPY. And then we'll talk a little bit about that pre-market action that I'm seeing and what stock I took this morning. But look at the SPY bouncing back today, shaking all that downside action and shaking the major report of the day. Of course, that's going to be Micron's report that reported last night. We were taking a look at this to see what would happen to AI, right? Of course, big disappointment here from Micron. So watch out, traders out there that are in Micron, as they disappointed on earnings and posted mixed results, right? There was an adjusted EPS of 62 cents, beating the 49-cent estimate. So that wasn't the worst. Sales of 6.81, exceeding the 6.63. However, though, the guidance looking forward for Q4 especially fell short, right? If we're thinking about this in the long run, Micron still looks good in a long-term, like let's say yearly outlook. But for the next quarter going into, of course, Q3, Q4, those are areas where we can see concerns coming in, right? And I think that that's what I'd be watching, that Q4 outlook now falling short, projecting adjusted EPS of $1 to $1.16 versus a $1.05 estimate, and revenues of 7.4 to 7.8 compared to a 7.6. So it could still come on the high end and surprise, right? Well, you can see the buy the dippers were here this morning trying to grab a little bit of Micron. As soon as it kind of opened up at that 4 a.m. spot, you could see how it just got the spike right back towards these highs. There's a lot of kind of resistance kind of building into this area. You can also see kind of a trend line approach trying to get back above the 135s. It's going to be important to see if you can even close on a 15-minute basis above the 135.80s. That's the level that I'm looking at right now. If it closes back above that, this could start to work its way back up. But you could get a little bit of a spike and then a down attempt right back into this action towards the 130s on the downside. Could be continued downside continuation, right? So this is kind of more of that red outlook back down through that 130.54, and Micron could keep coming lower. Now today on the playbook side of things, I always talk about playbook action. And today I'm looking at a potential what? Yes, I said it, guys. NVIDIA short trade, guys, as I start to see NVIDIA start to really kind of hold back below the 9 EMA, has come back here and could have fallen yesterday, and it did take a little bit of a hit. Yesterday, we had the shareholders meeting, right? We were expecting to see maybe a big lift in NVIDIA. Everyone was watching the event, right? Thinking that, okay, well, NVIDIA will just keep rocketing and rocketing and rocketing. Well, yesterday did not do that rocket. It did do a little bit of a close, nice little push as some traders were taking some bets back to the upside with NVIDIA. But what am I seeing here on NVIDIA? What I am actually seeing, guys, is more of a rotation away from NVIDIA going to the other big tech names like Apple, right? You've seen the switch in Apple. You've seen it pop through the 200, and it's holding the momentum. If I take a look at Amazon yesterday, look at the volume that came in also on this move. Nice little volume move right back through the 190s. And I can look at other names, right? Google had good news. There was a big buyer in Google just recently, at least that's how it feels like, off of this 180. A lot of shares traded over there, more than 50 million, 59 million. It doubled, pretty much close to triple the amount of volume that normally Google has. And so this is where I start to think that are we getting a rotation away from some names and into other big tech? That could continue the rally going overall in the market, but could turn around some names, right? Like another really strong name that I think rotation's getting away from is Qualcomm, as this starts to continue to collapse essentially from the top, right? It's a quick move down, right? Elevator moves. That's what I'd be looking at right now. You could still get a little bit of a bounce, right? That's something to think about. And then TSM had recently been taking off. This is one that I think actually you could get rotation into and continued, as this is gotten a nice move, but could just continue to lift off. NVIDIA has already done an insane move, right? There's no reason why it can't come back and fill the gap on the daily charts. There's daily chart gaps right underneath it towards 110 and 100. Am I saying that NVIDIA is going back to $50? By no means necessary. But I do think that we could come back down at least to this low 118 today and start approaching that 108 look, right? And I'm not saying that I'm going to 100% trade this to the short side, but is the play there? Yes, because AI is starting to top on the short term of things. That's what I'm calling out there. And I can't blame it either. I saw another trader, my man Triple D, talking about it also, concerned about a short-term top on AI, but there's going to be some names that continue to move. So we'll see what happens with like a stock like SMCI, as this stock has pulled back and started to hold here on the pullback, could take the next lift right back through the 1,000 spot. I think what you're going to see is some rotation go away from some names that have been strong on, let's say, 52-week, and then you're going to start seeing some other big boys start to get that volume. So we'll see what happens there. Smash the like, or let me know in the chat what you guys think about this. Trader Prad, what do you think, man? If you're out there, you're still listening, let me know, man. This is something that I'm thinking about as I see the rotation. Stay in the top names because Apple's still strong, right? And yesterday, the Qs were kind of coming down, but you were still getting these big boys to continue to lift in. So I wouldn't run into them. Maybe even Meta gets another lift, right? This has been going sideways now, sideways, filled the gap already, and could take another leg, right? We'll see what happens with these guys. Hot spot indeed. What's up out there, man? What are you taking a look at? Yazin, what's up out there? What are you looking at? Morning. Boogie Woogie in the house. Oh, man. Boogie Woogie. Tomorrow, Friday, we need to have some fun. Maybe play a little blues on the action towards the end of the show. I'm liking the play, sir. Hey, it's good to see you, Trader Prad. Let's keep it going. Let's go to the next one here. Of course, on the playbook. The playbook, we take a look at stocks that have setups, right? So Palantir is one that I've been talking about for some time. You know, I drew this line, created it on when? June 6th, guys. Actually, May 6th, 5-6. You see it right there. May 6th, I started this trend line looking for this approach on Palantir. I updated it on June 4th, and that's when we started to get that move here, right? This 4th right here on that first attempt through that trend line. And from that look, we've made a nice run there. We've gone up to 2650s. Now I'm looking for this kind of trend line here that's been on the pullback from this first level to kind of hold. So undercutting this could happen today. It could come back down. 23s is really my risk, guys. I actually have a swing trade on this. I'm going to show you guys that and give you guys the full transparency like always. So you guys will see here. Look at this, guys. 5 positions on right now on the swing trade side of things. AMD to the plus side, XRT, Shop, Affirm, Palantirs. I'm taking some shots in the swing trade side of things, and we'll be talking about the swing trade side of things a little bit later today with, of course, CEO Michael Katz. Guys, smash the like. We'll be getting Michael to join us in a little bit, but I took a little bit of a shot there in Palantir, 2407 yesterday. Can add to this position, but looking for an add if I do back down closer towards 23, let's say 2340s, 2320s. Then I want to really risk off of that 23, looking for this to get back here towards that high of 26, and then attempt to get to the 30. 30 is going to be very vital for Palantir, because if you take a look here to the left-hand side, where was the resistance before? It was towards 28 and 30. That's where we always kind of failed on the big run for Palantir. So if I can get back to 30 and really start to close up there, why not make a new high for Palantir? So I'll keep this one on the radar. Of course, a lot of action and more partnerships. So space partnership here with Palantir lately, including just yesterday. So it was a space exploration firm, Voyager Space. Palantir's advanced AI tools would be integrated across the Voyager enterprise, enhancing space and defense technology. And of course, we've seen space really kind of be an area where there is interest from investors. We'll see what happens here on Palantir if it can get running today. All right, let's keep going. It's good to see you, Smoke Tuna. What up out there, man? Any ideas on the Pan W daily breakout? I can't blame you, man. Actually, we had a trader looking at that yesterday. I was taking a look at Pan W. He was talking about a different one. And then I was also taking a look at Snow. Snow is one that could turn things around. If you actually take a look at the fundamentals of this company, they're not bad in that space, right? But let's go back to Pan W. Pan W is a move that, look, oh, we had it drawn here, the 300 break. I remember when I was trading this for the first 300 break, it came back to that 300 break, now right back above that, right? So you see the green and red line that I have drawn there. That was for this break right here. Eventually it came back down, or probably had to get out, but back through that 303 level. That would have been an interesting entry. Now you're starting to get up there towards the 330s. And what do you see on the left? Well, you guys see what I point to all the time, right? That gap zone, right? Well, look at that gap zone right here, man. It's a big boy, and it's starting to make that move into that spot. Of course, it's not going to maybe go one direction straight towards that, but can you slowly start working your way, kind of edging your ladder back towards that 350? Yes. And I'd be looking at like kind of trend line approaches to come back. So it could always come back to some trend line approaches. So I'd keep that in mind, right? You could always get like a pullback. Maybe that's what I would be looking for to kind of join the party. Maybe it gets to the 340s, then works its way back towards like 320s. Then you get that 350 run. So I think you're going to have a little bit of some choppiness, but we see this pattern showing up on multiple charts right now. Shop is another one that I'm taking a very similar trade on this, right? So you can see the gap right above, kind of that curving, almost like a cup and handle pattern there. And you can see it on Pan W, right? Kind of the cup and the handle. Well, I don't know what it is, guys. If the market just needs some coffee, hey, market, here you go, man. If you need some coffee, because all these cup and handles that I'm seeing everywhere, well, hey, shout out to you, man. A little Pikes Peaks here for you guys. Hey, I miss some Colorado action. If you're out there in Colorado, enjoy it, man. All right, let's keep going. Let's take a look at what other ideas are out there. You guys can always throw up some stocks in the chat. Trader Prad, always good to see you, my friend. I'll see you tonight on your show. All right, let's keep going, guys. Let's get to Tesla, of course. That's the last one that I want to bring up because it's been a top trade this week. Top playbook look, 9 EMA pullback, that 9 EMA, especially on Monday, was such a pretty look there. We also got another opportunity on Thursday, the 20th, and just recently, on Monday, we're right here back towards the 181. On Tuesday, we go back to 182s. I was actually taking a position in the 182s, got stopped out on kind of the lower end of this. I was up towards like 180, 182s. It was like 60s. And then I ended up getting stopped out right before this turned around here. Now, this is really looking good for those traders that are in Tesla. Now we need to see the next level, which is a 200 break and the 200 EMA actually holding. So you see 196.69, yesterday's high. Where do we go to? 197.76. Let's see if we can start taking out the high to the left-hand side. This was that 198.87, really close above 200. That's going to be the move that I'm looking for. And a lot of what I'm seeing here is an approach that it could come back towards a trend line approach. And I always look for these, right? So I'm looking for the long-term trend line approach. So this would be the area where I'd be looking to maybe sell the rip, right? A lot of times I'm buying the rumor, selling the news. So I'm looking for a move back into this spot here, which could be a run for Tesla towards 223. Doesn't seem too bad. Maybe 225 and play. That's 25 points higher. We still got a way of playing this. We just got to be smart, looking for pullbacks on the daily momentum. All right, let's keep going. Let's go to the Sunrise Report. Of course, Micron, we've already kind of talked about that one. Let's go to Walgreens Boots Alliance here. Yes, I'm talking Walgreens, man. Walgreens, yeah, we're trading Walgreens, guys. WBA this morning getting smacked on the downside. This is disaster stock of the day as it's trading lower after reporting mixed Q3 earnings here and lowering their guidance here. Let me close some windows, guys. I see some of my internet being like, yo, give me some room here. You got too many windows open. All right, closing up some windows here, guys. Just give me a second there. Seeing that internet just be like, yo, man, I need some room here. All right. And do you got your jeans on, man? Because we'll be talking Levi and Strauss coming up here. There you go. At least I was able to close up some. That should improve it there. We'll see what happens there. There you go. It improved it. All right. Walgreens Boots Alliance down to 1268. And this is not looking good here, guys, as Walgreens has just really kind of gotten wrecked. CVS isn't doing much better, guys. So it just doesn't look like these healthcare names and pharmaceutical names are doing good. I remember Rite Aid was still around. Is that still around? That's on the pink list now, Rite Aid. Look what happened to that one, man. That just got destroyed. So that's when I get a little bit careful about Walgreens Boots Alliance, WBA, right? You got to be careful, man, because this looks like it's on a continuous downtrend, maybe even potentially for shorts on this today. But it's already faded too much here for me. I think it could come back to the 14 spot at any point. So you could get this to kind of bottom out and turn back to the upside. I just don't really like to play falling knives back up, but you guys see it here on Walgreens Boots Alliance. All right, let's keep going. Let's go to the jeans stock, right? The Levi, right? Who's getting their jeans, right? And what I always hear about Levi's is that when you buy them, you never sell them because they never go bad. They don't break down. So we'll see what happens. Denim has been hot as of late in trends, but that doesn't mean that it's going to continue the run that it did. You can see here, it was trying to get back up there, but a big pullback now back down. So now I think you need to look to see if you even attempt to make a little bit of a cup back up, like a handle back up. But for right now, this doesn't look good. It's such a catch on the bulls. Everyone that was riding the trend just got caught on this dip. So they're going to probably want out this morning. I'll be looking for quick little pops, maybe for this to get right back through the 1887. Maybe you get a little pop here back towards 2067. But I don't think there's going to be too many people holding on to their jeans this morning, and they might just let it go. All right, let's keep going, guys. Trader, Prad, Pan W, cup and handle on the daily. Not so clear, but close. Yeah, it's something definitely to watch. Noli, I made the mention for you. I let him know. Noli's watching that one. That's what it's all about, team. I catch you guys in the chat, and I love to hear your guys' plays, just like I love to hear my own, right? And then that's what we're looking for, right? Is when we can bring these ideas together, we truly create the community that can help each other do what? Find the plays, right? That's what we're all looking for. You don't need to tell me how to trade it. You just need to tell me that it's hot. And if it's hot, I'll take a peek. That's for sure. All right, let's keep going. Future day trader, what you watching this morning? Smoked tuna is one of the bosses out there, man. I always love to see smoked tuna. I just smoked a crazy brisket. I got to get a smoked tuna going here for my man. But BTAI, I'll take a look at that in just a second here. We'll go to some penny stocks. Smoked tuna, I want to show you the trade that I made this morning too. I made a trade on a penny stock. Stick around, team. All right, let's go one last one here. Let's go Viking Therapeutics, VKNG, right? Viking Therapeutics, right? There it is. VKTX. I'm going to have to adjust that one. I made a mistake there. VKTX. I don't know why I was thinking Viking VKNG, but hey, that's how it happens sometimes. You're going to get a ticker right or wrong sometimes. All right, so this morning, this one's trading higher after Morgan Stanley initiated coverage with the stock with an overweight rating and announced a 105 price target. So this is what? Well, it's at $50, man. 105 price target is all the way up here. So either this guy at Morgan Stanley is going to get fired on this report, or it might go up there, man. And I'll be leaning more to that it goes actually maybe close back here. Maybe it goes to the 80s. So I'm leaning more positive on this one. And you can see the gap here trying to fill. So we could still get that gap to fill on the downside, right? But if he's seeing such positive, we'll see what happens. I mean, this doesn't look too bad here, as it's definitely turning things around this morning, trying to hold the $50. But I need to see this stock really change trends. Start to show me a trend that you want to come back to the trend line. Then I can start taking that approach that, yeah, you want to make that 100 run. We'll see what happens there on Viking. I don't know what was happening this morning with that analyst, Looks like there's a new analyst probably at Morgan Stanley because it's an initiate. We'll have to take a look at that. But Viking Therapeutics with a crazy outlook. We'll see if it gets up there. Good morning, Amir. It's good to see you out there, man. Smash the like. It's good to see everybody. And you're new to the show or for some reason tuning in for the first time, hit that like button, subscribe down below. You guys see it light up. And like always, let me know, what stock are you guys looking to trade this morning? And you guys see it. I got my Kobe Bryant shirt on. Why? Of course, because I got to get that Mamba mentality today to bounce back after 2 red days. And always going to be transparent about that, guys, because the truth is we're all not just in the green every single day. There's too many traders out there trying to act like they have green days every single day. The truth is, if you're a real trader, you know you're like me and going to be battling. Some days you're going to have those red days. We just need to do what? Risk manage, capital preservation, always on top of mind. Like yesterday, and the day was the best move for me. Because if I would have just kept shooting and shooting, that's easily how I have a real max loss day. For me, my max loss is going to be closer towards $300 to $400 on the downside, not the whole account max loss that they're giving me, right? The $1,300. No, I don't want to lose that much. I don't need to lose that much to know that I'm not seeing it that day. Some days I am going to see it and I'm going to push it closer towards the gains, right? So we're going to be pushing it sometimes to like 600. 800, even 1200 on the plus side. But we got to understand when we're not doing things the right ways and knowing when to pull the plug, just like they say in poker, right? You got to know when to fold them and know when to hold them, right? In this case, it's a fold and push out, and you're going to always get a new hand versus pushing with that hand that isn't giving you the advantage. And now you're trying to make it happen. Making it happen is easily how we get wrecked. All right, let's keep going, team. Let's go towards the next action here. Of course, we've gone through the playbook. We've gone through the sunrise. Let's take a look at my morning trade here, guys. I have a nice little morning trade that I took, and AMD is one of my top watches for the swings, guys. I just want to see this come right back up roaring today. A lot of this is going to be dependent on yesterday's low. Wouldn't want to see it really kind of crack that, but I can use this level to the left-hand side of recent close of 154.41 as my real risk here. Risk about $3 with 20 shares. That's only about 60 bucks. But looking for this to come back here to 70s, that'd be 13 bucks higher. That could give me a still good gain. We'll see what happens there. All right, guys, let's go towards this morning's trade. Just wanted to give myself a nice little cushion and not be scared of taking trades, right? Because the truth is when you start to get some downside action, what's the number one thing that usually happens, right? What happens in your account is that you start getting scared. Let's just be honest. You start getting scared, and that's not what I want to do. I want to continue to battle. I want to show you guys it, because the truth is that's what it's all about, guys. Learning how to battle is going to be the first step. So Cassie this morning was coming down, and this is a classic pattern for me. Looking for what? Looking for 3 to 4 dips and then looking for that to turn around, right? Well, this morning we were getting just that, right? And here in Cassie, you can see here, you get this first dip, you get this second dip, you get this third dip. You get this fourth dip, this last little dip here towards the 470s is when I started to come after it. Let me show you guys the trade here. And it was a nice little quick one, right? And that's what it's all about, guys. Sometimes you're able to grab one of these and make a nice little quick trade in the morning. Give yourself a cushion. And I could have held on to the trade for the bigger win and been still in the name, but there's no point in me doing that, especially in the morning when I'm just trying to do what? Just trying to get a little bit on this trade, right? Not trying to take a major swing, just trying to get it. Here's that cut down through the 470s where I look to see if it breaks down. As soon as it recovered, I started to try to get in. I tried to get 470s, wasn't able to get filled, was able to step up there at the 480s, especially as I started to see big bids step up. So I got that, the 480s. As soon as I got the 5 pop, I was able to sell some here at 519. And then able to sell some on the next pop to 535s. If I would have stayed in the name, yes, I could have maybe got 560s or maybe looking for the $6. But this gave me a really nice cushion to start the day. A nice little sell there, 38, 54, $91. The guys, not a bad little pre-market trade. And definitely on the radar today is Cassie. I'll keep it on watch. You can see here on the 5-minute, what I was kind of essentially looking for was to see if we could come back towards a long-term trend line here and really kind of give that breakout. So, you started to push there and you turned around off of this level multiple times. Eventually, I'll be looking to see if this actually gets the break and you break above this trend line and close above it. You see how you see wicks? Wicks can be tricks, guys. And we all know tricks are for kids, guys. We learned that. And if you haven't, well, what are you waiting for, guys? Tricks are for kids, guys. All right, we'll see what happens on Cassie. If this can continue to run today, it'll definitely be on my radar. I'll be watching this stock. We'll see what happens there. Cassie setting up there. We'll see if the next step starts to move. All right, let's catch up with the Gapper scanner. Let's see what's up there and moving this morning. BSFC showing up there, a $3 stock there. Was a $1 stock, now a $3 stock. So making a big move. Not looking too bad, and kind of a little bit of a rounding bottom, now coming into more of a handle approach or a bull flag approach. And you can see that here, right? So a lot of times you'll get this kind of, and how do you know it's a flag versus a pennant? Pennants go towards this middle spot like this. A lot of times you'll see kind of more of a trend line down, right? Trend lines down. If it's two trend lines like that, that means it's a bull flag. That's what separates the pattern, right? And so a lot of times I'm looking for this inverse hammer candy to kind of hold off the third kind of bottoming. So up one, down one, up two, right? Up two towards the resistance, down two, up three, down three. Looking for this to create that support right around here and then start working its way back up through three. That's the pattern that I see. If it comes back to 250, that's kind of the washout of the short-term pattern, and you got some traders coming in. So you can see how the 5-minute doesn't have that pattern, right? That pattern there is more pullback to 250. That's why it's important to know what time frame you're in and what trade you're looking at. All right, let's keep going. I know that Smoke wanted to take a look at one of these this morning, so let's go take a look at the one that he wanted to see here, BTAI. I don't mind taking a look at any stock that you guys want to take a look at. You guys over there on X right now tuning in, well, let me know, guys. Let me know what you guys want to trade this morning. What are you guys looking at? And if you guys just want to see me trade, come over to the YouTube side of things also. You guys can jump in the chat, or for those that know how to use Twitter, if you're watching me right now, you can actually hit the comments. You just have to open the stream so you can get into the comments there. And I'll be able to catch them right here on the stream. Let's keep going, team. We'll see what else is out there. BTAI trying to get back up through that $1.50. Definitely seeing this turn back to the upside, but it's you're catching that round bottom, right? You're trying to catch that bottom, trying to catch the turn. You can see here the MACD is telling us that, yes, we are starting to get an uptrend. But it's not through the zero line. I think that's an important too. Zero line is kind of more of that bullish approach. You can see how this hasn't been back to the zero line since like $3. So this has been on a downtrend, right? I want to see it get back to that zero line to really see that turn. That would be a move probably to like $2. But for right now, on the short term, you can take a look at the hourly charts and use those hourly charts. You rocketed it off this 123. At least I'll call it a rocket. It's not really a rocket, but you pushed off of that 123. You can see pullbacks coming back towards that level and holding. But if it breaks that trend, for me, I think I would have to go. So I would be okay with pullbacks to that level. I wouldn't be okay with a close below that level. So you can get a little bit of a wick maybe today towards the 122, and then seeing if it comes back up through. Maybe even it wicks down here, but doesn't close down here. And then you see that recovery. That's what I'd be looking for on BTAI. But that's just my look. Like always, Smoke Tuna, let us know what you're looking at there and what do you see. All right, let's keep going, team. There's a lot more to take a look at today. Kala showing up on the scanners. I don't know this one. It's a bio stock that is making a little bit of a move there. 587's holding in pretty well there. It doesn't look too bad on the 1 minute. Has had one drive, two drives, three drives. Now pulling back here, holding in here, could have that one more drive, at least from what I see on the pre-market. Then we'll look to see if some more buyers step up. But a move back through the 640s, 650s could have that run to 7 written all over it. We'll just have to see and find out. All right, let's keep going. Hotspot wants to take a look at Mara. We'll take a look at Mara in just a second here. Looking around to see if there's any other stock making a move here, but not too much that I'm catching right now. Let's keep going, team. If you guys have one you guys want to take a look at, throw it up. It's 9:01. Could still make another pre-market trade, but giving myself a nice cushion. So really need to see something moving if it starts to make a big break. BSFC going to be the one that we'll be watching. We just talked about it. Would it bottom out around there and make that 3 push? Now I'd be looking for that to hold. It came right to it when we were talking about it, right into this spot, this 280 spot. Now I'd be looking for that to hold that 280, not break the 280 and get back through 3. Maybe make an attempt run back towards the high here of 319. Then you can keep going to the next level. We'll have to wait and find out. BSFC was a 6-cent stock. It did a reverse split. Yeah, it happens. There's tons of reverse splits, guys. It's going to continue to do this. I've seen tons of reverse splits lately. And why? Is because the split game has gotten big, right? With Chipotle and all those. How did CMG do yesterday? I didn't get to trade it yesterday as I was kind of just drawn in on other action. But you can see the opening action was down, 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 down. And then the recovery came in. That's how you get them, man. You wash out the bulls and then you raise it up the rest of the day. So now what I'd be looking for is hourly pullbacks to hold. That's the same thing that happened yesterday. Hourly pullback, did a big wick to the downside, and hourly pullbacks held. So then after that rise, it came right back to that level 2 or 3 times. So maybe a pullback towards 65.50s makes sense today to see this start to make the next lift on Chipotle. We'll see what happens. A move back through 67 is also a look on the plus side if it just rips to the upside. Which platform are you using to draw? Well, I have plenty of platforms, Jack. You wouldn't imagine, man. Right now, just saying right now, I have about 5 different services open, man. So this one that you're seeing here on the top left, this is TC2000. It's kind of an older charting service, but I really like it because I'm able to really kind of flow through things, really look at stocks, look at sectors and industries, which is always one of my edge, right? I talk about this all the time. Where do I find edge? I find edge a lot of the times making sure that I know what sectors and industries are doing well and how they are doing well, right? So that's one thing I definitely look in. So Microsoft, things like that. I want to catch information like that. Some people use Thinkorswim, right? It's the best. I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that. And for all purposes, I mean, you guys see me also use what? My charting right here in front of me, guys. Trade the pool. I made this trade right off of this chart right here. I got no problem with using a chart like this. I used DAS Trader for a long time. I don't know if you guys know DAS Trader, but definitely it's more professional web program, low latency, and it mimics a lot of how this works, right? It's really fast, kind of low latency. Yeah, it might not be the prettiest charts, but sometimes pretty isn't everything, right? So we'll see what happens, guys. Definitely smash the like. I'll tell you what, guys, I'm super excited because in a second, I'm going to bring on Michael. We'll talk a little bit more about Trade the Pool. If you guys have some stocks in the chart and just want to talk about some stocks, keep throwing them up in the chat. We'll get back to the stock trading action. We want to take a little break here to talk a little bit more about Trade the Pool. You guys smash the like out there. Let's go ahead. Let's bring on the man himself. You guys might know this guy. Michael, what's up? Good morning to you.
How's it going? What's going on, Mitch?
Joining us this morning, guys. So for all those traders that are brand new to maybe Trade the Pool, that joined us from the Rule the Pool competition, I want you guys to say hello to Michael. Ask any question. I'll be looking for some questions in the chat, but we got a lot to talk about, Michael. It's been fun.
What's up?
First thing I got to tell you is I got to ask about how you thought the Rule the Pool competition went, the 2.0, because man, it was definitely fun. Was able to end in the top 50 for myself. Talked to Peter G that made that crazy trade. Tell me about it. What do you think about the competition?
I mean, it was amazing. Obviously, lots of traders head-to-head. It was super fun. I actually started to trade, and unfortunately, with all the mess going on around me in the back, the marketing and all of that, so I couldn't do that after all. But we're excited because we are already started to plan the next project, the next competition. It's going to be much bigger than what we did until today. And we always, as we always pushing to the next level. So yeah, it was amazing. The next one will gonna be even bigger.
Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. Of course, like always, competitions are really fun to just test your skill level, right? Because at the end of the
Mhm.
day, that's what a lot of us are trying to do, right? Is just try to get that test. I know I gave it, the biggest attempt here. Everyone was watching me trade it live. And I think that was also something that I thought I appreciated, because the truth is, that's what it's all about. Trying to have some accountability. It was trying
Mhm.
to take the trades the right ways, set up that processed approach, but just swing bigger, right? I mean,
Exactly.
and that's what the buying power really, what comes through in prop trading is what it's all about, right? Is learning how to trade with that bigger size so that you can get to that profit that we're all looking for. Because the truth is, I
Yeah.
mean, trading, on like I've done it before, trading, like on Robinhood with like $1,000. Really, come
Exactly.
on, what is that going to give me, guys?
That's
Maybe buy me lunch.
I can tell you from a personal experience. The first few years of my trading career, I traded with like $10,000. Right?
Hmm.
That's that's not enough to make money that will actually give you enough space and enough
Yeah,
enough profit generally. Right? You would make like $50 a trade, $80 a trade. That's nothing at the end of the day when
yeah.
you put so much effort and so much energy to make it in the trading industry. So once you join trade a pool and trade in generally trading with bigger capital, then you can pull up big numbers, and it makes sense to continue to work so hard and push yourself to reach that goal of profitability.
Yeah, as someone that recently joined Trade the Pool and have been really kind of coming into it. Of course, I've had my experiences in the past trading the prop accounts.
Yeah.
But tell me about the story about Trade the Pool and how it started,
Mm.
right? What's the story behind the founding? I think it's very interesting because and that's what a lot of traders want to understand. This is an opportunity that it is unlike anything else right now in the market.
Yeah, yeah. And it's all started as a regular trader. I started trading on my own capital, didn't do much, and didn't succeed in that. Eventually took some money from my parents, started working my way out, but eventually the psychological aspect of losing money of someone that you actually know
Yeah.
uh, started to drill down on, and I couldn't do that. A few years later, I got an opportunity to join a local shop, and then it all started to make sense. Just to understand, when you trade with bigger capital and when you're not risking your own capital, that's the game changer. And all the big names are doing it, right? All the banks, the hedge funds, all the portfolio managers, that's what they do. They're trading not their own capital, they're risking
Yeah.
not their money, right? So
Yeah,
once you
no,
do that,
1000%, man. Professionals, right? And that's
exactly.
what we're speaking about, right? At the end of the day, the professionals aren't going to JP Morgan and being like, well, I got a couple $1 million.
Exactly, I'm going to risk my own. So that's it. Once I understood that, and Gil, the
Yeah.
founder, gave me a call, and he said, you know what, let's do it. That was a no-brainer for us, because we're bringing the professional level to the retail traders, right?
Yeah.
So the solution that we provide to the retail traders just makes sense.
And recently, we've started to give different programs too, right? And I think
Mm.
that that's an important thing too, because not all traders trade one way, right? Let's just be honest. There's
Yeah.
tens and millions, I think, of different strategies out there, different types of traders, right? You can find your scalpers, you can find your investment, your position sizing kind of traders, right? Your arbitrage style traders. There's so much out there.
Yeah.
And recently we started getting into the swing trading evaluations. I know I've been taking some shots. I have 5 positions open on the swing
Nice.
trading. What
Nice.
have you heard about it? What have you noticed? Any trends, any feedback from users that have started to use the swing trading accounts?
Right. So, a lot of the guys asked us for many weeks and months to bring out a swing trading program that dedicated for swing traders. We finally did it. It took us a longer time, obviously, because of the risk involved of holding your position overnight.
Mhm.
So it took us a minute to craft everything. Once we did that, we launched the swing program. We already got some funded traders on the swing program. So
what? They're beating me, Michael, already?
Guys are serious. They're not here
Hey,
to
shout
play.
out to you guys. If you guys are listening in right now and you ever want to come on, talk some swing trading, you know I'm the man out here. I'm always for it. But yeah, man, I think it's awesome to hear that, right? Because even I was one of those traders. I was knocking on your door, Michael, telling you like, yo, Michael, I love the day trading action, but swing trading is more my flavor of ice cream. And I want to do that, right? Because that's what we're all looking for. We're trying to trade what's more up our personality. Day trading, you know, I've done well, but I come in the battle, you know, slightly green, trying to get to that real profitability. But in swing trading, it's helped me because I've noticed that my personality probably isn't the best for those 10,000 share penny stock type of trades, right? And I think that's important. You got to find what works best for you. So I rather take bigger swings on time wise, right? Give myself more time in the trade. And that's why I look at swing trading. And it's given me the ability to take something like I have today, 5 positions open versus focusing on just one position. Right?
Exactly. There are tons of benefits of trading swing. We always analyze the data and track it and understand what can we do better to improve the rules, to improve the parameters, the risk parameters, basically. And I can say maybe don't share it with anyone, Mitch. Yeah. But I can easily say right now that we are working to do some tweaking on the day trading and the swing program to fit, to give the traders more options, basically. Yeah.
Hey, love to hear that, right? Because we're all just looking for opportunities. A lot of traders out there, especially retail. Let's be honest. Like, say in my situation, right? I just recently had twins, right? You know, I'm already putting up a lot of capital, Michael. You know, buying 2 sets of cribs, 2 sets of everything. So at this point in time, I'm looking for opportunities to continue doing what I love, which is trading, of course. But I also can't just be, you know, going into the savings account too much right now because I have that situation, right?
Yeah.
I think a lot of traders are going through something like this. Maybe they're trying to save for a house at the same time trying to trade, right? So they're not trying to put up the 40, 60, $80,000 up, because the truth is they kind of need to have that money in an account where they can just have that be safe, right? So the only other way to go about this is to look for alternatives, right? Then I see a lot of traders, and sorry if you guys are one of these traders on X right now, the options traders that just like throw lotto tickets out there like it's nothing, right? You might as well just go out there to the gas station and throw lotto tickets, because the truth is those are just what they are, right? They're just like throwing it up in the air, seeing what's happening. But in prop, that's when we can actually start acting like the true professionals and trying to be what we're trying to get to, right? Which is that career-like approach in trading. And I know I'm one of those. There's tons of those guys right now in the chat every single morning coming in here with that approach. That they're trying to do this in a repeated fashion, right? Not just the one trade. I talk about this all the time. If you're just here for one trade, I mean, there's plenty of traders out there.
No lucky traders.
Yeah, you know what I mean? That's not going to get us anywhere. So we're looking for that opportunity. That's what Trade the Pool has done for me. So the biggest thing that I would ask here is, so what would you say truly sets the platform apart from other platforms and other opportunities out there? Because truly, I mean, that's what's going to determine whether someone should maybe select Trade the Pool or maybe go to some of those other brokerages, right? What sets us apart? What gives us an advantage? And what is also maybe giving traders an advantage by some of the features that we have to offer?
Yeah. So first of all, when we're talking about alternatives, like a broker alternative, I don't see a point. I gotta, straightforward. I don't see a point of going to a broker. You literally don't need to open an account. When you have $3,000, put them in Trade a Pool. With $100, buy the mini buying power, $20,000 of buying power, and that's it. You're good to go. So I don't see a point of using a broker these days. The prop industry, the online prop changed completely the game. Regarding other alternative within the prop industry, first of all, we're literally the only one who's doing stocks, right? 12,000 symbols, short any penny stock. We're the only one that actually doing that.
That's it right there. I'll tell you right now. That's my number one. The ability to short stocks and not have to borrow.
Yeah.
I'll repeat. Ability to short stocks and not have to borrow. You don't find this anywhere, guys.
Exactly.
I'll tell you that right now. I've been on the other side of the borrows, right? I borrowed and not used, and then been like, what are you doing, Mitch? You're just giving up money, man.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
And I mean, you do have others in the prop industry like Forex, futures, right? And if you like those kind of markets, then totally fine. There are great companies like the Fivers, of course, that doing Forex and indices. But besides that, if you like to trade stocks, ETFs, even if you like to trade commodities, right? Come and trade GOLD or GLD, the ETF, or stocks that are relevant to the sector of the gold. Or if you want to trade oil, you can trade whatever ETF you want.
XLE, right? And why not?
Yeah, I mean, classic one. If you want to trade Bitcoin, we got the ETFs. So
leverage,
anything you want to trade.
Leverage names like the SQQQ, they get traded almost every single day. I think these are the opportunities that traders are looking for. There's a lot of traders that just trade, maybe a handful of names. Majority of those handful of names are just going to be right here available to you. Yeah. And you don't have to worry about the kind of the borrows. You could just short if I wanted. Like right now, I was bringing up the playbook of maybe it's time for the sun setting on NVIDIA.
Ooh,
who knows, man? Who knows, Michael?
Trading. Let's talk about some trading.
All right. Let's go ahead. We'll start wrapping it up a little bit on the action, and we'll talk a little bit more about some trading action. But I wanted to end off also with a little piece of advice, because I've gotten a lot of great advice from you, Michael, and I always look forward to bringing you on as a trader that has that experience also, right? So what would be your best piece of advice for a newer trader, for someone that's just starting out?
Right. So first of all, as a trader, join the mini buying power instead of bigger accounts. Sometimes guys that are new looking to buy the ultimate, you don't have to use $260,000 buying power if you're new to trading, right? $20,000 is more than enough. Use that. Second, and that's by far something that I see also on our data, right? We are always analyzing our traders' data, and we try to understand what will be the perfect trader. And one of the things that repeat itself over and over is the fact that a lot of the guys are just using all the buying power at once, right?
Yeah.
Scale into the position. We traded many times before live here, Mitch and I, and scale in, build your position. Start with a $50 risk, then add another $50 risk, and so on and so on. And don't go all the way in just at once, because then you're losing in that game of managing the trade and managing the risk.
Mm-hmm.
So that's by far the most important one.
Hey, right there. That's some advice right there to help you guys out. And I think it's important to catch that, guys. I know Bullseye has been kind of talking in the chat here, and I haven't been able to catch all your comments, Bullseye, but I know that you've been also looking for alternatives. You're opening accounts in other places and things like that. I think this type of advice is also for someone like you that's kind of really trying to get to that success. I see you in the chat, Bullseye, trying to get to success. And I wish you the best. I really do. I don't think Michael and I would say anything otherwise, right? We would love to see you have success. Like always, one thing that I would say is starting small, like Michael's saying, is important. I talk about this all the time. When I swing traded, sometimes at first, to really get it underneath my belt, I would swing trade sometimes with like 9 shares, 10 shares.
Yeah.
And understanding that, I can maybe max risk $30 on this, and then just giving myself room. These are the types of things that can really help you. Then I could size into the position when it's working and use the rules that I hear about all the time in trading, right? Adding to winners and selling losers and cutting them, right? I mean, we hear this all the time, and then it's hard to actually look into our trading. Are we doing these actions, right? So great advice there for the smaller kind of mini buying power action. It's about 9:21 here. Of course, there's going to be some trading action today. I'm going to be looking at different names. I've been looking at them all. Top trade, though, for sure. We talked about this trade earlier this week, Michael. Tesla, man.
Okay.
And looking at this kind of inverse head and shoulders, it's been kind of hanging in there for a long time. A lot of people were trying to call it an inverse head and shoulders right about here on this day, and they gave up on it. It had this big wick down, but it didn't. It never closed there. And this is why I always talk about closing on candles. It can trick you, right? You can see it down big, and then at the end of the day, it was still in the pattern. Now we're starting to break above here. I wonder, what do you feel about Tesla? Do you like this stock? What do you think?
Yeah, as Rory Kitten said, I love this stock, right?
Hey.
I mean, it looks great. Right now, as I see it, it will have the resistance from the 200 all the way to 205. And once we will break through that, it will probably continue to the 220, even to 240. So we just need to first, break through that 200 to 205. And it looks pretty good. Yeah. Head and shoulder, reverse head and shoulder makes sense.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. One more. Any other on your radar, Michael? I gave you one that was on mine. What are you seeing out there? Last one here, and then we'll let you get out of here.
Gotta MU of course.
Guys. MU of course. Micron. You love Michael. I know you for these. Let me guess.
Okay.
Long on Micron. Is it a long?
I mean, when going intraday. Today, because of the fall of yesterday after market, first of all, you got the 137 to through that, but I'm actually hoping at least to see some break, to see a little bit move to the downside.
The downside of things.
So I will, I'll share my screen for a second.
Yeah, let's do it, Michael. Would love to see your screen, man. Let's get it up here. Let's see the setup.
So what I'm looking for in Micron.
Jay's Life. What's up out there, man? I don't think I've seen you before, man. It's good to see you in the chat. All right, Michael, what are you seeing here?
So I'm looking at two things. First of all, of course, 1H at the hourly chart. I'm just looking to see where it's going to start with the gap down, of course, from yesterday after market drop, after earnings. You do have the 200 EMA, and we talked about it many times. If the stock is gapping down, probably not right here, but if it's gapping down below the 200 EMA on the hourly chart, you will usually see another push to the downside before the bounce up. So that's like general opinion. Obviously, you can mark the levels pretty nicely right at around 136-ish. So where we're at right now. So my idea for MU will be to short it if it will drop, retest those areas of resistance from pre-market, and then drop down again. Try to close that gap or reach the lows of yesterday after market. So at around 130. That's what I'm aiming for. Obviously, it could pop up above 137 and we won't see it today dropping down. But the scenario, and that's also one important lesson we can take from here, is that you build your scenarios, right? You create them, and if it's there, you execute them. But if it's not, then it doesn't really matter. That's the concept. So wait for the scenario that you build. Once it's there, click on the mouse key and execute the trade. If it's there, continue to the next one.
Yeah, man, and that's the hardest part, right? It's just and I say this all the time. There's one weakness I have, Michael, and I talk about this because I think it's important for traders to understand what their strengths and weaknesses are. This is a real big plus, is understanding. For me, the weakness is do all that, what you just said. Line it up, know the levels, got it perfectly. The trade shows up, and I'm either not watching it or don't execute. And then I get frustrated because I did the hard work, right? The hard work was all the setup, the levels. I know exactly what I'm looking for. and then the market's doing exactly what I just was planning for.
Click
now
the mouse
I'm not
key.
executing.
I mean, you just click the mouse key, no matter what. Especially, you're trading on someone else's capital. Click the mouse key. What's the worst that will happen, right?
Yeah, and that's the number one thing that we're trying to build, right? Is decision-making skills as traders. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. There's tons of different trades and strategies, but what we're really building up is decision-making skills. Not being scared, not being worried about the risk, understanding risk, but also understanding the reward side of things. So, hey, great conversation, Michael. I could talk to you forever on trading. We got to do like a podcast and just have a little chat.
That could be
maybe
great.
A little Twitter space. I know there's a lot of you guys joining on X. Let us know if you guys are interested in hearing a little bit more conversation about maybe some trading action, maybe some experiences that Michael and I have gone through in the past. I can talk about the time that I lost $750 in less than a second. We could talk a little bit about that one, Michael, on some penny stock trading. But hey, that's how it is in life. And we could also talk about some great wins. Hit the chat, guys. Hit the comments. Let us know if you guys want to hear a little bit more. Michael, always great to have you. CEO,
so much,
Trade
guys.
the Pool. We'll have you back on, my friend.
Good luck.
Keep trading out there. Keep battling. Michael will be battling along with us. Thank you, Michael.
Bye, guys.
All right, guys. I'm getting Michael off here. Guys, we're going to get back to the trading action. Smash the like if you guys enjoyed that action. It's always good to hear from Michael and hear about the updates from the company. And we'll be, like I talked about it, I'm battling for you traders. If you guys have any questions, want to see different programs set up, want to see us kind of adjusting some things, hey, we're always here for feedback. At the end of the day, we take feedback very important because at the end of the day, we're here for you guys. Without you guys, we're not here. So let us know what you guys are looking for. Let us know what you guys are trying to build on. We'll try to build along with you guys. Let's get to the action, guys. Back to the stock market action. Of course, this morning we're at 9:28. Market's going to open pretty soon here, guys. So I'm going to be watching to see what I can get into. Of course, there's a lot of action here. And we can take a look at the scanners right now. Of course, you guys see filled positions right now. I'm going to change over out of the kind of the swing position. I still got 5 of those positions that I need to be watching out the gates here. So I'll let you guys know if I do any changes to that. Right now, I'm just going to go ahead and play the open here. We'll see what happens. Let's go ahead and I'll put the screen up here, guys. We got Microsoft that it's on the screen right now, but going to be looking to see what happens in out the gates here with some of the smaller names. Opening range momentum down at the bottom there. Unusual volumes. If you're looking for some explosive winners, you'll see them here in the middle. Opening range momentum is an interesting area to look for. It's like 15 minutes. Like what's happening in those 15 minutes? Are you starting to get that push? And then, of course, volume thrust, where the volume is today is always important to kind of catch. We'll see what we get into today. But let's get after it, traders. It's going to be a fun day. Cassie was my morning trade that gave me some nice profits and now has washed out those traders. We'll see if it comes back. And that's why I'm glad that I took the money and ran, because if I didn't, I would be losing in this trade this morning. And that's how it goes sometimes, traders. Sometimes you just got to get that cushion. For me, $91 to start the day. Let's get after it, trader. All right, let's see what else is out there here. Definitely hearing some clicks out there. So I got to go looking to see what happened on the swing trade side of things. But let's go looking here. All right, guys, swing trade side of things. I got Palantir in the green there. Nice little spot jumping right out the gates here, guys. So Palantir with a nice little pop here. We'll look to see if it keeps going. This is one that I'm actually looking to kind of really see this get back towards the 26. Not a bad one that I'm looking at. XRT is the one that got cut out there this morning. So this morning I did get cut out of XRT. So that gives me a little bit ability to add on Palantir. Back below 24, I'm going to look for ads. Right now, I'm not going to add there. A firm is down a little bit here. Going to look to see if I can get an ad on a firm. I'm looking to hold down here towards the low right now. The low swing is 28.62. So if I can get to 30, I don't mind adding. Right now, I'm not going to be adding because it could fill this gap. This gap could get filled to 30 and then it bounces off of it. I will be looking for that ad down there and then looking for this to come right back up to 34s. We'll see what happens on a firm. AMD in the green to start it off, guys. 158.10. This is one that I'm really looking for it to get going back through 160. I have 157.08 this morning. I'm looking to add in it. If it comes back here towards that 157, we'll see what happens on AMD on the swing side of things. All right, catching technology up right out the gates here. So NVIDIA short, probably not the move out the gates here as you're getting a little bit of a pop, but we'll see. I mean, NVIDIA is not the one that I'm thinking that you'll still see higher. Apple, Microsoft, names like that, I would not be fighting right now. Amazon, I think 200 in play. FFIE coming up first. This one, of course, I'm getting some mentions, a lot of that Reddit kind of stock name here. This is definitely not a company I believe in the long run, but at the same time, who cares about the long run, right? Cassie trying to come back here towards that $5. There's that 490 spike there. Cassie back into the $5 spot. Big levels to watch is 525, 530s has been a run into. And then this trend line, right? You keep failing on the trend line attempts. So let's see what happens now. Let's go to the 15-minute here. So you've had that one drive, a big pullback, second drive, big pullback. You might get a couple of kind of choppy actions here in Cassie before the move. MLGO, of course, has been one of the monsters out in the market. Yesterday, when sideways, actually gave me a big stop out. It's up to $18, guys. This is one of the scariest stocks and also the one that you can make the money. But when you think about it, this stock has come from $3 up there to $18. It's been on an absolute rocket. And one thing that I look to the left is this stock always has a tendency of doing what? Coming right back down. So I got to be careful out there if I'm longing this or on the short side of things. We'll see what happens. Can it get back there towards $20? Recently just got up there towards $21.52. It could make another run there. We'll find out. MLGO. That was fast. Pan W. Let me see here. Pan W. Ooh, 335. Nice little push there. Back up above the 330 spot. Doesn't look too bad there as it starts to push. Not a bad looking stop there. All right, Shop, and another one that I have on the swing trade side of things, now starting to get to the upside here, looking actually pretty decent. I have 65.23s, so below 65, I can maybe add to this, but just wanted to give you guys the outlook on the swing trade side of things. And look at Palantir go, baby. Let's go, swinging it, baby. Let's get after it, team. This is actually looking pretty decent right off the start here on Palantir. I can look for day trade sides of things off of different stocks, but definitely not a bad little move here to start the day. As you guys see, some of these start to work in the green will be something that I'll definitely be watching. But you guys see it here. 4 positions on right now. 3 of them in the green. AMD jumping fast here, guys. AMD up there to 158.55. Back below 157. I'll actually add on this swing. We'll take a shot here. Affirm still coming down a little bit here. Let me make sure that I have Affirm and don't have a stop really close here because I don't want to get hit on the Affirm stop right now. I'm looking to hold down back below that daily level. Let's make sure that we keep that in mind. All right, so I got to risk a pretty good amount on this, but I will be looking for ads. So I'm going to go ahead and just set the risk there and just look for a firm to start working its way back. Shop looking good there. Also making a move to 65.80s. That's actually looking great on the daily chart. Right off the 9 EMA. I didn't want to miss it this time. Same thing on the AMD. That's what I was trying to play on Tesla. And of course, we saw how Tesla did. So we'll find out if Tesla comes back to the 190 today, just as an inside day, and then comes back for the ramp. Q's, nice break. Let's get after it. Didn't see a question in your page of comments. Which one? You feel like your inquiries are being ignored. Bullseye. I try my best, my friend. Let's keep going. Let's see what else is out there. We're trying to break through that 482 this morning. Q's pushing strong. All right, there you guys see a nice sort of reversal to the upside right now on technology, getting a nice little boost. Basic materials boosting, utilities. Only thing in the red right now is defensive names. I know I was looking at Colgate-Palmolive yesterday to see if it dropped. It actually dropped at the end of the day. It came back down towards like kind of 98s, but it did do a little bit of a spike. You can see it here, 97, 98s. It dropped eventually, but then came back. We'll look to see if it falls today. All right, and that's defensive. The only area I see down right now, but a lot of it's kind of getting that nice little boost back. Technology with a big little kind of breakout there. Micron, what's up with Micron? There's that move down there, rejecting that move right here out the gates there towards the 137, back down towards that 134. So back to this trend line approach, right? I had drawn this to see if it hold around the 134s. It's approaching that breakdown right there on Micron. All right, let's keep looking out there, guys. Shop doing really well now, guys. Up about a full buck on this one. Now as it starts to make a nice little breakout look, I can look for ads on pullbacks. We're looking good in the swing trade side of things. Let's go back to the day trade side of things, see what we can find, as I was just trying to kind of make sure that I approach my swings first. Because why? The positions are open, right? I need to focus on risk. You're short Micron at 135, Noli. Hey, get after it, man. Future day trader, you're doing a great job, Mitch. Not sure how you do it. Don't worry. I've had experience. That's the only way I'm able to do this. Catch you guys in the chat, run a show, produce, do it all, team. And at the same time, not making excuses, right? I try my best not to be one of those people. I'm not going to be one of those people that, oh, well, Noli was talking and that's why I lost. No, man, come on. At the end of the day, I call the shots just like you guys call the shots. Let's get after it, team. Let's make some money. Let's make some money. Let's get after it, team. You guys know where you're at. It's Trade the Pool. If you haven't done so already, guys, wake up, wake up. Let's go. It's Trade the Pool time. I'm ready to get after it today. I told you guys I'm determined to get into the green today. Was battling the last couple of days. Really ready to come after it. How's Cassie doing there? Back to the 450s. That isn't looking the best there, guys. Hourly holding the 460 pullback back through 5 will be my level to kind of look for on Cassie. You guys yell at me if it gets back through 5, but for right now, I'm not liking that one. Let's keep it going, team. What else is going on in the market this morning? FFIE, that's not for me. GoVix. Let's take a look at that one. GOVX here, trying to get that $3 spot there. This one looks more up my alley here as we're getting a nice little sideways. I would call this a descending triangle, right? You're getting that reversal back up out of here. 15 minutes, you have that 1 up, 1 down, 2 up, 2 down, 3 up, 3 down. Should not break these levels anymore. This 240s looking great here. I'm looking for pullbacks to 245s, 250s here on GovX. See if I can get that pullback. We got it right here when we got above to the 260, really quick 250s. So let's see if we can get it right back there. Or will it make the run to 3 without us? BlackBerry getting the move here out the gates here today up towards 250. BlackBerry? Yeah, I mentioned BlackBerry, guys. When's the last time you even saw a BlackBerry? I remember when these phones were really popular, man. Let's see what happens today. It's kind of holding in the pullback. 3 attempts to break this 250. So it doesn't look too bad if it gets there on the 4th try, right? That's what I always look for. 15-minute gives me that look that, hey, we've had that push, pullback, push, pullback, push. This is the level to kind of break it and continue going. If I measure the flag, about 36 cents, so maybe towards 275. I don't see too much more than this on the upside, but BlackBerry is trying to make the move. Cassie trying to curl back there through the 5. I'll look to see if it makes that. All right, team, there's a lot more out there. If you guys see anything, tell me in the chat. Let's keep it going. It's some live trading action here on Trade the Pool. All right, let's keep going. Why do majority of prop firms offer their traders tools but not trade the pool? Bullseye, you must not know about our partners. You must not know that we offer tons of the best tools out there available. So if you haven't already checked out Bullseye, go to our site and check it out. There's tons of partners that we have, man. We brought them all on our event. So if you missed that event, maybe that's where you didn't catch it. But there's so much more about our partners that you can be doing, right? I mean, you have so many to choose from, but you have to have one of the bigger programs. It's not the mini buying. You have to have the super, the extra, right? Then you can go into there and you can choose partners. You can choose trade ideas, trend spiders, stock traders daily, trader views for trading journal. There's so many that you can be choosing from. I'll give you a little peek of mine, right? You can see here, you could be choosing and selecting your partners. So do we have tools for you? Yeah, we got tools for you, man. Come on, man. Come on, Bullseye. All right, let's keep going. Let's see what else is out there. Sterling, I mean, you don't have to use Sterling. There's so many out there, man. If you want to pay for Sterling, you can use Sterling. You're just not going to be able to trade on Trade the Pool, right? I mean, I've used DOS. I like DOS better than Sterling personally, but I mean, if we're going to get on battles of platforms, right? There's always another platform, man, that's better, right? Like if I had to use charting, I only use TC. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to use charting on anything else either. All right, let's keep going, team. I'll get back into the focus here. Sorry about that. All right, let's keep seeing what we can see here. GovX, will we get a pullback? No pullback. Back through the 3 already there, guys. So, hey, that's looking good. AMD looking well, guys, on the swing trade side of things. I'm going to leave that alone. I don't want to go and get too crazy on that. HUT, though, making a nice little move to the upside. And Mara kind of just hanging in this morning. So keep looking to see what happens with Mara, if we're going to get a breakdown or not. For me, that's a cut down back below this line. So I'm going to set the alert. I'll let you guys know if that starts to break down. All right, catching up with you guys in the chat. What's up out there? WBA, still weak? Yeah, man, still weak there. Now down towards 1198. Quick drop in Walgreens Boots Alliance, as this does not look bueno, man. Big, quick drop, guys. This could have been a good gainer already. Not my trade. It's already a weak stock getting weaker. But hey, to each his own, right? Not a bad looking trade there at all. All right, now I got to go looking around to see what else I can find in the market. Another thing that I wanted to show you guys is different features today. I'm going to show you guys a feature on the time and sales that I set up for you guys out there to learn from a different feature. We'll find that out at 10:30. Remind me, team. And another thing that I want to show you, some people say about hotkeys and hotkeys on right here. I'm going to show you a way that you can put some hotkeys, not all of them, but some right there on the chart. Stick around, guys. 10:30. We'll talk a little bit about that. All right, GovX. Let's get it. 336. Actually doing really well on this one, man. I'm going to take a look at Cassie just because that's the one that I've been looking at. It's still trying to curl back through the 5. It came back and tried to wash out some traders. So I'm going to be watching this now to kind of hold here hourly pullbacks towards 480s. Really take off there towards the 7. It has the opportunity to do so. I don't mind taking a little trade on this and just trying to see if it really wants to run. So I just saw about 3,000 shares go through there at 480s, guys. And so a lot of what I'm trying to catch now is the bigger share size. If it's not bigger share size, maybe kind of ignore it here. And I'm going to probably change that to show you guys a little bit on the time and sales. One thing that I've been trying to use more and more is the different features that are available for us right there on the Trade the Pool platform. BlackBerry, what's up with you, man? There's the 250. It didn't do much on that break, though. That's for sure. GOEV showing up there. There's a little bit of a spike there towards the $2. Where's that other one that was making a move yesterday? We'll see what happens, guys. What are you guys seeing out in the market today? I'm looking around, guys, trying to look and find some good trades here. BSFC right back down to the 280s. So that's just getting swacked there. VIGL. This one doesn't look that bad there. It's been on a pullback, trying to make a move back here this morning. Was up there to the 580s, has pulled back to the 440 spot, but a lot of wicks in this spot here. So let's go take a look at this one. VIGL. You can see how it's pulled back here multiple times now, pulling back in the pre-market, trying to make maybe another run back here towards the 6. But you got to know where the gap down is. It's into this spot right underneath that 411 to 382s. So it could go back into that gap first and then make the move back up. We'll see what happens. Hourly level has support off of this first little pop towards 410. Let's see if that holds in there and then makes the next move towards the upside. That's VIGL. ATER showing up on the scanners, trying to get back to the 250s. Not too much there for me. GovX, man. I talked about it. That was the first move there. It was a nice looking chart this morning. So I didn't catch this one this morning, but look at the chart. The chart was pretty there, guys, for that nice little break. Maybe comebacks towards the close right here in the pre-market. So maybe 290s on pullback. That's why you see the 9 EMA right around that level right now. I'd be looking for pullbacks to 290s. It's at 370 here. We'll see if it takes 4. 3 was kind of the level. 250 was a really nice pullback level. on this one. It got back above the 250s, pulled back into that spot, then really kind of started taking off. GovX, really nice move there to the 350s. Now I'd be looking for 290s on the pullback. That's just me. Barking. We'll see what happens out there. CRM, up there to the 250 spot on CRM. Technology, basic materials, utilities leading the market this morning. Let's see what's leading in technology, right? Where are the big names here? What's making a nice big run? We'll take a look at some of these. BlackBerry showing up as one of those. ALR is another one in the technology space. Let's go to the big cap names, see how those big cap stocks are moving since the open here. Just want to go ahead and get a reading there from the open. I don't know why it's taking forever there. There it goes. I did it for 2 days. Now it starts to wake up. Boom. All right, taking a look here. Microsoft up 0.63. We got NVIDIA up 1.2. See if that one starts to come back down, but that's actually pretty strong right now. ARM is up 2%. That one's definitely getting a nice little lift. Micron starting to come back, looking for that 137. It hit that little trend line and then bounced really strongly back to the upside. So I wouldn't be fighting it right now. That's my own outlook. But Marvell trying to keep going back to the upside. A lot of these tech names that we thought maybe pull back today, getting a little bit of a lift. So just be careful out there, traders. AMD now up to 159.48. So the swing trade's looking great, guys. I'm in at 157, up a pretty good amount there in AMD already, but just going to continue to let that work. All right, looking around, guys, I'm not seeing much on the day trade side of things that I want to come after and just run into. So just keeping a look out there. HUT not looking too bad. That's got up there to the 1650s. Rum with an even better push, reclaiming the pre-market. We'll see what happens on Rumble. DJT, one that I'm taking a look at here. Maybe this starts to keep going. Maybe it fails today and gives you a nice little pullback opportunity. Just stocks out there, guys. There's a lot of action. All right, looking around to see what else is making a move. I see CleanSpark up a good amount. I see GME up a little bit. I've been waiting to see if it break out of an hourly range here, and it's trying to do that hourly range break right now. So you can see here, I've been kind of on this fade. Then we got the pop. Now we got the pull back to 24, kind of holding well. So now I know at least my level that I can risk off of is that 24 level. I'm looking for pullbacks closer towards 24, 25 now, and then I'm going to look to see if maybe I take even a trade on GME today. There's nothing wrong with me taking that trade. Just need to make sure that I get pullback opportunities and not just jumping off the highs. We'll see what happens there on GameStop. All right, bullseye on GovX. You already nailed it. Hey, man, I can't wait to see you trade on IBKR. I think that's what you're going to be trading on bullseye. You got to let me know on that one, man. Send me some screenshots. Show me that money because I want to see you cash in, man. That's for sure. I want to see you do it, my friend. Elevation Oncology, getting a little bit of a pop. ELEV. We'll see if this one gets up towards 3. It just popped there, but it was a quick little pop. Not much volume I'm seeing on that. BlackBerry trying to get to that 250. We'll see if it actually makes a move or not. Cassie struggling there. We'll see if it can actually go back there towards the 5. It's made an attempt. 1, 2. You see it. 1, 2, 3. This last attempt, if it doesn't really break out there, it might just fail right back through the 450s. I might take a shot on this and just hold really, really tight, but let's see what happens here on the break attempt. All right, Cassie, I see a lot of volume at this 490. This is the wall that we need to refer to, guys. I talk about this all the time so that we can learn from this. So look at this, guys, right here. Look at the depth. So you see here, the wall at 490 is what's holding us up. The buying at the 480s is what's holding us down, right? Like you're not getting through that level on the downside too, because you get some fills there. So let's take a look here to see if that person gets taken out off of that level. You see how you just got taken out there? Boom. And what happens? A big spike to 525, but it comes down and the spread widens out there, right? And so he's cleared out. It could come back to this 480 though. That's one thing that I know. It could come back towards that 480 to get that volume. And now look at this bidding action. This is what I look for. I'm not even going to take the trade, guys, because I just want to show you guys it and talk about it and focus on it. So you see how now you're getting that kind of more of that bid stack. What do I mean by it? You're starting to see layers on the left-hand side start to get a lot of volume when it was what? Very small just a second ago. You blew through that 509 person, right? And now you're starting to get that pullback here. Now I'd be looking for pullbacks back towards a bigger amount here on the left-hand side, maybe $5 as being a spot that could get a little bit of a cut down and then reversal back to the upside, but not a bad one. And what I talked about earlier, 530s being an important level. Can it get through that level? The 15-minute has trend lines right off of that. Now I'd be looking for pullbacks back below 4, back below 5s to maybe take the shot to the long side if I feel this is a stock for me, right? But that's just how you got to take the approach there. We'll see if it takes that next layer and starts to make a run here. All right, there's that pullback towards 5. It went to a low there of 483s, recollecting some of that volume that we just talked about. Let me go ahead and pull the market depth again here. So you see now it's at the 490s and a lot of stack there at the 480s. So I wouldn't want to see that 480s break. And I'm looking for this to get taken out. The 514 on the plus side of things. 514 on the plus side of things. Let's see what happens. There's the 490s. It approaches that bottoming there to get some of that volume there. Now you're getting some of that stack at the 480s. Now you're getting that stack to come back there. And now $5 is going to be the price point that I'll be looking for when it comes back up through for it to take it out and then go back through that 525. We'll see what happens here on Cassie Pharmaceuticals. All right, looking around to see what else is making a move in the markets, guys. Definitely smash the like if you guys are enjoying the action, enjoying the conversation this morning. I'm going to catch up with you guys, see what you guys are taking a look at. What are you guys watching out there? All right, guys. Noli, 20% of current volume on SUZ. I haven't taken a look at that one today. SUZ. We'll see what happens on that one. Paper and paper product stock. I don't think I've traded this one before. Nice little pop on the hourly, holding hourly pullbacks, maybe $10 seems like a good spot on pullbacks. Look for it to make that run, see if it goes to 11. All right, let's see what else is out there. Let's go back to Cassie, right? We're starting to hold in there. Now we just got some volume to kind of fill in there. All right, now we're seeing a little bit more of that bidding action off the 482s and not so much on the plus side of things. So this is when I can take my shot if I want to go ahead and take like 100 shares right here. So let's go ahead. Let's see if I can grab it here. 88s. All right, guys, just long there, a little bit there on Cassie, guys. I'm going to hold here towards a really tight trade here towards 460, guys. So 460 is my out, only about $28 on the risk side of things. I'm just looking to see if we blow through 5. So use some of my cushion that I got this morning. I got $100, about $91 to be exact. So I'm looking to use some of that cushion, use $28 to see if I can get another trade into the green and then use that cushion to keep taking some swings on the day. Idea is get back into the green. All right, let's see if this can get back through it now. The important level to watch for closing action on the 5-minute past 510. So you see these wicks towards the trend line. We need to see a close above that. So I'm looking for a close up here to show me that, yeah, this does want to turn. So let's see it here. We can also use the MACD to see if we get the crossover on the next push. Boom. Let's see what happens, guys. Back down to the 460s and I'll get out. But I'm giving myself the shot and looked at the levels. Let's take a look at the level 2 here. Take a look at the market depth. See what we're seeing. Okay, so there you guys see it. There's no pretty much wall there up towards the 5s. And so that's kind of like what I want to see there. That's not a bad outlook there. There's not too much bidding action here off the 480s. So let's see what happens off of that. Do we coming back for these 490s and take out the 5? 515 is a big important level where I saw some sellers show up there. So let's see if we take out that 515 on the next push through 5. Kala, that day trade with Tony. Kala, trying to get a nice little move there to 7. Doesn't look too bad on the daily chart too. Also on the 1 hourly chart. Not a bad looking chart there. 5 minutes, had that approach. 3 highs, now holding the pullback here to 633s. Doesn't look too bad if it holds that 620s right now on the pullback. It just held that 620 spot. It's kind of like cup and handle pattern. Undercutting the 9 EMA and recovering the 9 EMA is going to be important here. So you get this undercut wick, but the 9 EMA is right above it. 649. So I want to see a wick down there, stop some stops, get some stops triggered. All of a sudden it recovers the 9 and takes out the 7. We'll see what happens. 50 cents on the plus side of things. Doesn't look too bad. All right, going back to Cassie. Cassie is trying to get to that 487, go back through 5 here. I have here 488s. So I could add right now at the 492s and just have to tighten up. What I am going to be looking to do here is maybe get potentially $5. So $5 break. I'm going to probably add another 100 shares and look for it to kind of ride up. And at that point, I'm going to move my stop to make sure I'm still risking about the same, about 30 bucks. Like we talked about earlier, sizing into the trade is what I'm trying to do here. All right, BlackBerry, how'd that one keep going? 255, just slowly going up there. GovX back to 350s, holding the VWAP. We'll look to see if it continues. MaxN showing up there. So some solar making a little bit of a move today. Let's go to the sectors out there. Technology, what's leading out there? Computer systems, of course. And then what do you have in that space? You have ANET, Dell having a decent day there. Now Dell with a nice little pullback opportunity here. Let me take a look at the daily chart on Dell. Actually doesn't look too bad there. Now you're getting a nice little pullback opportunity here off the 15-minute. So you can see here the 15-minute could pull back to the 138.50 area overall, but we're getting a nice little pullback opportunity right now. So now I know my risk there. It'd be about what? About $1 there. Like for this 139 to hold and then start working back to the upside. Let's take a look at the Qs here. Qs are pulling back the same look, VWAP bounce type of look. We'll see what happens there. Cassie pulling back a little bit there off the 485. We'll look to see if I get that next step up, but I don't have to watch this one too much. Let me just keep looking at the trades out there. AMD's holding that 158. So this actually making me feel really good on my swing trade side of things. Shop coming back to that 65.50s. We'll look to see if it goes back up through 67 today. That's a vital spot for me. Affirm trying to recover that 31, not looking too bad in the swing trade side of things. I can take a look at it in a second here, but Palantir also back up to 24.50s. So good swing trade outlook that I was having. Now just need to continue to let that work. And of course, I got the Cassie trade on. Let's take a look at the swing trade side of things, just because I want to take a peek here at the positions. Let's go ahead. Let me put this up on the screen so you guys can see it there. You guys see it. We got about 4 in the green right now. Affirm still slightly in the red. I can add to Affirm later. I'm not trying to push right now on Affirm, but seeing Palantir in the green, AMD deep green, Shop actually not looking too bad there. I'm going to continue to battle on the swing trade side of things. Let's go back to the day trade side of things and see how Cassie is doing. All right, Cassie's just slightly down there. Not making the move that we're looking for right now, but still keeping it in mind, right? It still hasn't broken back towards the 470s here. Could make that really quick move. And that's what I'm kind of looking for. That's the same way it made it in the pre-market. It was a quick spike. I'll probably look to sell out half on the rip and look to see if it really continues. SUZ was one that was mentioned just a little while ago, and I do see it on the volume scanner here. So shout out to you. All right, let me lower this position size here. Boom, so you guys can keep watching it, but it's there on the bottom right. What time frames do you guys use? The 65? Yeah, I mean, 65-minute, I've heard about that level before, like that time frame, because it kind of makes it a little bit more of just like equal candles. But I like just the regular hourly chart. I mean, I've used a 4-hour chart before, maybe. I don't like the 65. I'd maybe use the 4, but it's all dependent on what you like, man. The key about this is also understanding what's the trade inside of that hourly candle, right? It's like the 15-minute probably, right? And so if I want to go down, I can understand here a little bit more about what's going on in the action on the 15-minute, and then looking at the hourly as understanding the resistance and support. That's one of the best ways that I like to use the hourlies or different time frames. Kala. All right, holding off of the 650s. It held off that 626. It tried to get back up there towards the 7. Kind of failed that attempt here at the 660s, but it has multiple attempts to recover this 9 EMA. We'll look to see if it does recover the 9 EMA on Kala. ELEV, Elevation Oncology. We'll look to see if that continues to work. How's my SMMT, Summit Therapeutics? Been keeping an eye on this, man. At some point, this stock's going to either gap right back down or make a breakout. It's a hard one. GOVX, what are you doing now? 427, man. What a nice little pullback off that 350 and just ripped right back up. Cassie now starting to slightly go into the green. Let's see if it wants to make the move here, guys. This is when, back to 5. I'll give the ad and see if we've got the swing there. Let's go to the level 2s and see the market depth a little bit here. All right, so 5, you see 1,220 there. There's not much there, but finally getting a little bit of a stack back off of this 480s. That's actually a good look here. Want to see this kind of stack up there and see a bunch of yellow here. And then not much here on the right-hand side, and not a big boy trying to hide down here towards the 505s, 515s area. That's where I'll be watching to see if the seller shows up. All right, let's see if we can get the momentum push here. Of course, you can see here also a trend line approach from the bottoming action, how it could break right back through the 475s, and that's a breakdown right there. So looking for this to now start breaking up through the 5, go to 525s. If it breaks down through that 475, probably going to have to go because you might get a 450 takedown. So I have that mentality. I'm just going to look to see if it gets the run. Kala went back to the VWAP 426 takedown back through 610. Now trying to come right back up for the 7. So for me, I don't mind it now on pullbacks. I'd be looking for closer towards 630s on pullbacks, 625s on pullbacks. But doesn't look too bad there for a nice little push, trying to get back there towards the high today. We'll look to see if it's able to hold these pullbacks and get that run to 7. There was some volume right there that was filling in towards the 630 on the bid, and now it's back up towards the 650. Let's see if they take the 650s. Boom, baby. Get it, baby. What's up, Frances? What's up, man? How we doing out there? What are you taking a look at this morning? Seeing solar doing actually pretty decent there. Actually pretty interesting to see solar up. All right, not much going on in this Cassie. There's that downside action into the 670s, trying to collect some volume. We'll look to see if it cuts me out at the 460s or does it come back up through the 5. For right now, I just have my stop labeled and I'm just going to leave it there. But let's see if this comes right back up. 470s trying to stop some traders out right here. Just went to the 458s to give myself $2 more of risk, but this looks interesting here. If it can come right back through 5, this could be a wick scare on the downside and then the move up higher. Kind of the same way we got this wick here and then it went higher, wick here and then it went higher, wick here and then it started to reverse. So let's see if we get that. If it's just a wick, so below that 464, yeah, it's going to maybe just take down. But let's see what happens here, guys, if it just holds that and then reverses right back up. It's attempting to wash out, try to collect some of that volume there. Right here, it's 461, 455s. Now that volume is right here, so it could collect some more volume in the 60s. We'll see what happens as it gets back up towards the 470s. Going to go looking at the overall market here. The SPY is holding in here. Qs are trying to hold in here. So that makes me feel looking to see if AMD can continue. Micron back up there to 137, but rejecting that move. SMCI, one of my top watches, actually doing really well today. So this actually looking pretty decent. I'm looking for a pullback on SMCI back towards the 840s. Wouldn't mind it on this pullback to maybe take a shot on this one. You can see how it's starting to come its way back on the hourly. So pullbacks to 840 seem to make sense for me on SMCI. And on the daily chart, you now got that undercut right on the trend line and now reversing out of that with a bullish engulfing look on the day, especially if you get a close towards like 900. So that's one that I keep on my radar. Jay's Life, what's up out there, my friend? DYN, what's up, man? When's the bubble going to pop? Short answer, never. Well, when big money is done with the trade, Francis, that's what happens usually. It's big money trying to make that money, right? DYN Therapeutics. This is climbing and holding the trend. I think if it just holds the 9 EMA on pullbacks, you're liking that. right? And I mean that now you're leading into kind of a break attempt here for the 35s. Doesn't look too bad, but definitely you're on the top end of the range. So you always keep in mind you could get kind of elevator moves down on the pullbacks. But this keeps holding the pullbacks right now and trying to break to the upside. Doesn't look too bad there on DYN. All right, looking for some other one. Palantir looking great, man. I have a swing on that, and I'm holding in now, guys. I took my shot off the pullback. I said, you know what? This looks good off that trend line, especially if we get a move back towards 26. Going to be looking really good in Palantir. Cassie, not doing much, but trying to come back here. Getting to the 480s now. Didn't get me out, so let's see if this can start to recover and actually make that move. There's the 488s now, guys. Through 5, I will add. So let me see if I can get this set up here. I like to stop limit sometimes for an ad like this. So what is a stop limit? That's something definitely to kind of note here. So stop limit here is what? Well, it's just exactly that, guys. So it's a stop that's going to trigger and throw out a limit order. So what I usually like to do is looking for the breakout spot. Where do I think the breakout spot's going to be? Well, that's going to be above 5, right? VWAP's at 501. So I'm going to set this to 502. 502 breaks, and I want to add on pullbacks towards 490s. And only if I get that 490, I'm adding. If not, I'm not adding. And as simply as that. And I like that approach here. So let's see what happens there, guys. I can show you guys the trade and how that's set up. There's not too many people that will show you this right here, right? Actually show you what they're doing, guys. It's one thing talking about it. There's a whole nother thing actually showing you that that's what's happening here. So there you guys see it. Trying to set up for that break. We'll see if we get that break. Really, it's above towards the 510. So I'm going to push this up past that trend line because I don't want it to hit that trend line and all of a sudden I don't get the entry, right? And don't get the breakout. So I'm putting it closer towards 495 for the ad, but a 510 break trigger. Let's see what happens today. Cala. Ooh, you guys are seeing the buttons, I'm going to show you guys those in a little bit. Stick around, team. I got some great features that I want to show you guys today. Smash it up. Kala back up there to the 665s. Will it get to the 7? Not a bad looking one there. We talked about the 625 recovery, looking for 630 pullbacks. It was a nice little 630 pullback there. Look to see if it takes out the high now and goes towards the 7. Not a bad looking chart there, guys. Yeah, Jay, that's what I try to do, man. It's just try to be transparent, guys, because the truth is that if I don't be transparent, how are you guys going to learn from me? If I just tell you guys something and I'm doing something else, that doesn't help anybody. All right, guys, Cassie trying to make that move. We'll look to see if it makes that move. If it stops me out, it stops me out. That's below that 461. I'll get out. BlackBerry coming back down, guys. MLGO, what's up with that one today? Up there towards 1950s, looking for the 20 break. I'm glad I know it's short in this one today. MLGO looking like it's really starting to get going. Man, this thing has been an absolute monster ride. Look at it, guys. It's up there now to 1950s. Big push on the day. MLGO, top trade for sure. It's up about 16%. Cassie's still up about 30%, so I'm taking a look at that. ATER doing well today. Let's go looking at the big boys. Not much going on there. Let's take a look at what's going on in the market overall. Technology leading, basic materials, utilities in the green. Only thing red is defensive, but just slightly red. It's not a big red. So it seems like upside seems to make sense today. Now we just got to see where the upside actually, where you want to go after it, right? And so for me, I'm looking for longs. It's just where do I go long? So right now I'm seeing XOM just slowly climb and continue to climb back. That tells me to continue to watch Valero. Valero is one that I do like to trade. I've already had about a loss or two on this in the day trade side, but doesn't look too bad on the day. Getting a nice lift there to 157, now pulling back. I'm looking for a little bit of a closer pullback to 155 and then looking to see if this goes back through 157. Not a bad look there in Valero. Looking around, guys. You're done for the day, Bullseye? Well, that was good for you, my friend. Not a bad day if you're already done here at 10:10. So, hey, shout out to you, my friend. and stick around. You might see some cool features that I'll be using and kind of telling you guys about in just a second here. All right, Valero not looking too bad there. We'll see if that continues to move. What else is doing well in the Qs here? Is it the big boys holding us up? And I feel like that's exactly what we're seeing. Microsoft is actually green. NVIDIA is still green, but not holding as well. That's one thing I'll note. But Google, actually, nice little move there towards 186. Talked about this yesterday, how they talked about their YouTube numbers, and the YouTube numbers really started changing things to the upside for Google. And this looks great now, guys. This looks like Google's just taking off, guys. And I know that it lagged on the AI, and a lot of people were hitting Google because it was lagging on AI mentions and things like that. But take a look at it, guys, essentially from 23, right? This thing is up here, guys, 92%. So at the end of the day, is it a bad name to be in? No, this is why you got to know like good quality names to be in. MBIO trying to make a move today. It got up there towards 55, 60s. Of course, this has pulled back all the way back down. So we'll look to see if it actually gets going, but it's trying. It's a 55-cent name, though. All right, looking around, guys, trying to make some more trades here. Not taking too many trades out the gates here today, but that doesn't mean that I can't take more trades as we keep going. And I'm still looking to maybe add on this Cassie if it starts to make a move. It's just been trying to chop around, so I'm leaving that alone right now. I'm looking at Kala here as it pulled back recently already to the 630s. Will it make the 7 run here? This looks to me like a little bit more of a kind of nice scalping play here for it to start going through. And so I at least have to hold here towards kind of like the 630s. And the 9 EMA right below it towards like 633. But let's see if it makes a run to 7. Doesn't look too bad there in Kala to see if it starts to make a push back above the 650s. So it'd be like kind of a scalp look, 50 cents to the upside, 25 cents probably risk on the downside. There's that first pop. So now I'd be looking for that 650 to show up on the pullback. That's when I'd take that one. Let's see if I can get it here. I don't mind taking about 100 shares there if I can get the pullback to the 650s. Spots there. There's 650s on the bid. I'm trying to get in on that 650 pullback here. Let's see if I get it. If I do get the pullback action, I can also add at 640s, but you got to hold off the 630s here on Kala. The 630s was a better entry earlier. I talked about that one, but I mean, looking back, that's hindsight 2020. We're up there to the 670s, trying to get back up there. Here's that quick pullback of opportunity for the fill here. No fill there on the pullback right now, lowering it down to the 40s. So I didn't get the fill there. Let me see if I can get the fill here. No fill just yet, guys. Looking to see if I get that fill. I did not get the fill there. So, let me see what happens here. The spread. Look at that spread, guys. That spread not giving me that fill on that pullback. I was trying to get filled there. I'm canceling for right now just because the spread's a little too wide for me. I can try to come in on the market side of things, but just got to pay attention to the offer here. So it went down there to 637. So I'm looking for maybe it's showing up on the offer side at 640s because it definitely was a quick wick down there. 658. Come on, come on. Need still a little bit of a dip there. And I need the spread to tighten up. 650s, 640s. There you go. I take a little bit of a shot here, guys. I just grabbed that 650s here. Now I'm just going to hold off that 630s here. Only risking about $21. Have about 100 shares. Can add to this if it starts to make a move to 670s for the 7 break. Let's see what happens. Here's 660s starting to show up there. Doesn't look too bad there. Let's see if this starts to work its way. Looking for some buying to step up here. Let's take a look at the level 2 here. I've been trying to show this a little bit more for you guys to learn from. So you can see here, kind of the people are looking at me, the traders, right? The same area, 640s on the pullbacks. Looking to see if we take out the 670s right here. 670s, a little stack there. Let's see if we could take that out and make the next level here. All right, here's a little bit of a pullback to the 650s. Not looking too bad there. Now 650s holding. Now 660s trying to hold. Let's see if they want to take the 670s and go to 7. Taking the trade, guys. Smash it up out there, guys. Jay Life, what's up out there, man? All right, after doing my journal, I'll notice your comment right now, Noli. Just give me a second. You did some really good conversation there, so I definitely want to catch it. Fun and 6. 6 is one that I've been watching, man. 6 is on the radar for the swing trade side of things. Daily chart looking great on swing on 6. We'll take a look at that in just a second, guys. 6 is actually looking good. The 6 flags, man. Need to go to 6 flags. I like it, Jay's Life. All right, guys, smash it up. Amazon wants 200. We talked about that yesterday before the open, Noli. That was a nice little setup here. All right, guys, seeing right there, Kala. Let's see if it takes that next step up here. It's trying, guys. It's trying. I'm trying my best to kind of hold off too. So let's do the stop limit approach on this too. I like the way that looks, right? So that's 670 for the break to the upside, and then an add off of 660, right? So that'd be that look here. So let's see if I can do that here, guys. Looking for the breakout above. Can even push it a little bit more towards like 674s. Pull the limit down still at that 659 here. There's that 670s. Now it's trying to trigger my stop here. Let me show you guys how this works here. I want to show you guys it as soon as it happens here. Let me see if I can get this up in time here for you guys. Look at this, guys. Sorry about the screen being a little bit weird here, but I just want you guys to see it here. So it triggers there at 675 and would add at 660s on a limit. That's only if it triggers. It still hasn't triggered there, right? All right, let me see if I can lower down the size on this so that you guys can actually see the whole chart here. All right, guys, let's go ahead. Let's show you guys this as it starts to make its way. Let's see if I can get this trade to start making a nice little push here. So above that above the highs, right? And so right now, since we wick to there, I want to give myself a little room on the trigger. So the trigger's moving up to 677, but the limit still at the 660. So just want to kind of give you guys that ladder approach for me. That's the way I'm looking at this right now. After that point, I really wouldn't want this kind of 640 to break, and I can tighten up on the stop loss. You can see we tried to make that attempt a couple of times now struggling. Now I'm going to go and try to recollect off the 650s. We'll look to see if we recollect there and make the next step up. The 5-minute approach, you can see it here. We've had a couple of attempts, 1 up, 1 down, 2 up, 3 down. So at this point, 670s needs to kind of break. If not, we could break the 630 on the downside. All right, we'll see what happens there. There's a little bit of an attempt here trying to go ahead and cut me out here. I'm going to go ahead and just, slightly got cut there at the 625s, but there's the cut down, guys. I'm out. Now I need to go do what? Cancel the stop add, right? Because if I go and I take that swing there, that's easily how I get this to kind of get me a position up here at the top. I don't like buying up at the top. So it doesn't mean that this trade's done. No, because he still has an attempt to kind of hold this trend line. But for right now, I don't want to be in that through 6, right? That's a cut down through 6 on the downside action. Recovery of 650s is what needs to kind of happen there. There's the wick out there right near the bottom. So it doesn't mean that it's done. It could still make the move. I just got cut out there. Doesn't look too bad overall, but hey, here you guys have it. 22, 30s on Cassie. Lost there on Cassie, guys. So I need to go ahead and stop that out. Boom. But what? Still green, baby. Still green. Taking 2 trades there. It's still green. Gave myself the ability. Cushion this morning. Now let's keep battling, traders. All right, let's go take a look at the market overall. These penny names aren't being consistent right now. I'm going to leave them alone. They haven't been consistent this week. So let's leave these alone. Even GeoVX, I'm done with these. Let's go looking at some other ones. Let's go looking at the bigger names. Let's go maybe trade some of the bigger name stocks, right? That's what I'm going to be looking at now. So AMD is actually doing pretty well there. I'll take a look there at watching some of the names in this space. Taiwan Semiconductor pulling back fast here. Let's take a look at the Qs. Qs pulling back fast. That can give us an attempt for some pullbacks. We'll see what happens here if we're able to catch some. But now I'm looking at some bigger names to try to maybe take some trades, because the truth is the pennies right now, they're not being consistent. MLGO is probably the only one that's being the consistent one to the upside, but it's also very volatile. So we'll see what happens with that one. It's back to the 20. It's going back there towards the highs. We'll look to see. That's 21.52. What a move in MLGO. All right, let's keep going, guys. AMKR. We'll take a look at that one. AMKR trying to get back to the 40s. All right, that's not looking the best there either, but it's kind of just in the middle. That's my problem on the daily chart. It's just kind of in the middle. but it could hold the support right now. Trying to do kind of a little bit of a cup and handle look. All right, taking a look at elsewhere. GME was one that I was taking a look at for maybe potential pullbacks. And look at this, guys. This is when I get a little bit annoyed. I talked about a pullback on GME going back here closer towards that kind of the 64.25, 64.30s. Came right to it, bounced right off of that level. So actually GME not looking too bad on the day here. Pullbacks to 24.50s for me make more sense now, but we'll see what happens on this one. GME is going to get going today. I don't know, man. Has the potential to, just really needs to get going and make a move towards like 27 on a pop. VLO, talked about this one just a little while ago. Valero, seeing if it can come back to the 155 spot, then seeing it come right back up. So I'm looking at this energy stock here, guys. I've had about 1 decline, 2 declines, 3 declines. This is that 4th decline where I usually try to take a dip buy approach to see this come back to the upside. So I'll stick to Valero. It's not a bad one to keep an eye out for. I've been trying to play some of the energy play. Let's take a look also at WTI and how that's trading today. That's one of the things that I look at. So I'll take a look at WTI. WTI is trading almost up to the 82s today. So that's all I need to see, guys. At least oil is actually looking pretty decent. Trying to break through a new high off of this pullback is what I'm going to be looking at. Just got to go in it slowly here, slowly, and add to it, guys. So I'm going to go at it at, let's do 10 share approach and just ladder here through 155. So 155.05, limit out there. I'm going to do 155 limit. So now I'm starting to try to get these, and now I'm going to ladder it. I'm going to go to 154.90s. I'm just keep trying to put out some other ones here at 154.50s. Boom. So now I'm just trying to do what's called the ladder approach, right? Looking for pullbacks to fill me here on the pullbacks back below 155 towards the 154.70s. So I'm going to put 154.70. I'm going to put 85. I'm just trying to ladder in there and essentially get as best of a pullback opportunity as I can. 154.50s, 154.60. All right, guys, in a second here, I'll show you guys the ladder that I've built up. I built up a pretty good ladder here. Looking to try to get the dip buy towards a low of 154.40s, and then I have to risk off of 154. So what I'm going to also do is put 154.40s and put a bigger amount there. So if it does fill that downside action one, that's the biggest position that I can take. And then from that point on, wouldn't want to add more. All right, guys, got the starter on. Let's take a look at how the ladder approaches on this, guys. I do want to show you guys more ladder approaches and show you guys how I can use this to my advantage, right? So here you guys see it, guys. So take a look at that. The ladder's out there. Look at all those limits. Do you think I care about execution? No, man, I don't care about no fees. I'm trying to make a trade here. Let's see what happens if I can get these pullback entries here. The more pullback entries I get, the better I like this. And the truth is, I can always mark it in on the comeback towards the upside. I'm just looking for ladders to fill me on the downside of things, right? So if I wanted to, I could lower these as it keeps moving and kind of play with them. I can open them up a little bit. Like I could be like, okay, so layer this a little lower, layer this one a little lower, layer, pull the layer back, that kind of approach. But hey, it's all what you want to do. And I love that Trade the Pool has right on the chart trading, because look how easy I'm able to change the limits. This gives me an advantage. We talked about advantages for Trade the Pool. For me, this is a great advantage to have. All right, guys, catching up with you guys in the chat. What's up out there, guys? What are you guys taking a look at? Way things are working these days, I wouldn't be surprised if MU goes up 6 or 7% tomorrow. Yeah, Francis. They try to shake you and then they bake you, man. And a lot of that times will be those earning stocks. Yeah, it's not the best way. All right, guys, but I only got about 20 shares here. I do want to add a little bit more. So just trying to move up some of this ladder here. So I'm going to move up another order towards I'm still trying to ladder below my entry. If it just goes, it goes, right? If it just goes in the green and just rips up to 155.60, so be it. But I am trying to move my ladder up a little bit here. So you're just going to move the ladder up, looking for pullback fills. We'll see what happens there in Valero. All right, another way to look at that is the XLE. That can be another way I can look at it. I was also taking a look to see what happens with Dell on its pullback, right? That was on the pullback, looking to see if that one was going to catch the buys. And look at that. This is a nice setup here for me. Just need to look at the 5-minute really quickly here. Now I like this 5-minute approach. You can see here, down one, up one, down two, up two, down up three. Needs to hold this pullback to 140s. Now I'm looking for 140 approach here for Dell. Doesn't look too bad at all. I'm putting out there 139.97 here. Let's see if I'm able to get it there. See, I'm looking for a quick little pullback entry here. I just came to it just a second late, right? I can see it here. It was trying to make that attempt. Just reversed out of that, right? This little kind of bottoming action. This was the area really that was looking great for the pullback. So this like kind of this 139.80s after giving you this bullish engulfing candle right here, starting to get back to the highs, that 140, very important. Dell with a nice little push there. Wasn't able to get the kind of the ad there, get in. So I'm looking for a pullback to see if I can get that on a quick little dip and back up. We'll see what happens on Dell. Don't want to chase it here, but I do like the chart. All right, guys, that's going to be a trend line approach where it can come right back to this trend line and then try to come back and try to reload some volume at 140. So I'm looking for that pullback to fill me at 139.80s, but really it's for a wick down and then right back up here. Waiting for Tesla to pull back. Let's take a look at Tesla this morning. Tesla is holding off of that 198s, came back there towards 194s, actually looking decent to try to make that attempt back towards the 198s. And boy, oh boy, Tesla, man. What a call, guys. Right here on Trade the Pool. You guys have seen it, the playbook. What was my top trade this week? It was Tesla. I just was able to nail it. The question is, were you? Let me know in the chat if you guys were able to catch all the talk on Tesla this week and were able to catch a nice green trade on Tesla. I'd love to hear that action because the truth is I can't tell you guys what to trade. I can't tell you guys what to do, what levels. That's not what I'm here for. I'm not here for investment advice. I'm here to educate and show you guys how I can kind of teach. And this is literally it, like to the key, right? This is as good as it gets here for pattern and technical analysis. All right, let's get back to the action, guys. Going to go back to the charts. You guys smash it up out there. If you guys seeing anything you guys are liking, still looking at Valero on this pullback to kind of give me some more fills. We'll see what happens here. Still looking for us a little bit more pullback on this Valero. It just hit 155 again. Now trying to find a little bit of some buying. I'm looking for one more attempt towards that 70s, and that would give me some good amount of fills here. All right, starting to see a little bit of a turn off that 155.13. Just saw about 2,500 shares go through at 155.12. So that's something definitely to catch. Six Flags. I did want to talk about that one. We talked about this swing trade opportunity here for a move back into this spot. I even drew this, on the 26th. We were looking at it yesterday, team. Recovery of the 9 EMA today, 30.65. Looking good there as it starts to push. And it has a special dividend that will be coming out. And I think that's also another thing to kind of keep an eye out when traders look for that. That's good action. Look at this flagging pattern. Looking really well. Now I'd be looking for holdbacks on 31s or 31.50s. So it doesn't look too bad right now. We'll see what happens with 6 if it can keep pushing to the upside. And what about NCLH, right? Earlier in the week, we were looking for this to make a move, man. This thing got all the way up this morning to 19, guys. If I would have held the swing, maybe that was probably maybe the better trade on that. But we talked about CCL before their earnings came out, and look at CCL also 17% higher for the week. Not bad on the swing trade outlook. And these were all given on Playbook, right? The Playbook that's given out every single morning on our Twitter. You guys out there on X, you guys see it. Smash the like, and please do us a favor. We want to get these to more traders. Hit the retweet on the playbooks and let me know which one you agree with or don't agree with. I would love to see it. Tag me, guys, at MoneyMitchTTP. Let me know. be like, Mitch, I don't know what you're on this one, or maybe Mitch is onto something here. You know, Money Mitch is coming after it. ATER trying to recover here. Hourly chart came down all the way down. Could come back towards this hourly kind of trend line. So I don't see like maybe the 3 pop, but I do see like the 280s, 285s there available to me. Not something that I'm looking at right now, but just kind of mentioning here on the pullback. AMD still looking really great here. I'm looking good in the swing trade side of things for AMD. I'm going to leave AMD alone and look for it to continue working. Palantir, the same thing. Look at that move to 25, team. Looking good in the swing trade side of things. Let's go take a look at that. Woo, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Palantir and AMD, the top ones right now, guys. As you guys see it here, starting to work from 24.07. It's up to 25, guys. Nice little day there for Palantir. Right back to the upside. And just because, I mean, I feel like I've been giving straight gold, guys. I don't know if you guys are missing it, but let's go take a quick look here. What? Trade the pool. Oh, whoa. Today's strategy playbook. What? Palantir. You guys know it. Smash the like, guys. Definitely take a look at those. They're coming out every morning, and a lot of them have to do with the hard work that I'm trying to do for you guys and give you guys back the value here. So definitely smash the like, guys. AMD now back up there towards 159.20s. 160 recovery is going to be looking really good on the day, especially on the daily chart. You start to kind of shake. You have bottoming all around here. I know where I need to get out, and I can start letting this stock work back to the upside. We'll see what happens on AMD. All right, let's keep going, guys. Let's see what else is out there. Getting after it, ATER. We'll see if that one gets back up there. MLGO, did we get the 20? Oh my God, look at that, guys. 22 now, 22.50. So big breakout in MLGO. Holy moly, is this stock just continuing to rip? At some point later in today, I might take a swing short on this. I'm putting it out there. But I'll let you guys know when I take it, right? I'll put it out there. I'll put the position so you guys can see it. We'll take a look at it towards the end of the day. What a move there. MLGO. Just ripping, guys. Just ripping. Where's the next stop here on the weeklies or kind of resistance that could come into play on the daily? Man, this thing is just a rocket, guys. Rocket. All right, so let me see here. Let me see what kind of makes sense. I'm looking just left. 26 seems to make sense as the next layer around there. You got some action back here in 23 where it was like a low of 23.45, a high of 34.80s. So maybe that 23 to 26 area starts to act as resistance. For right now, I'm leaving it alone, but look at this stock. This thing is an absolute beast. 34 to 50. We'll see what happens out there, guys. Catching it up there. GOVX still holding in there. Doesn't look too bad there. We'll look to see if that one comes right back down. Affirm is the only one in the red there for me. I'll look to see if I can add on that one, but still looking for the pullback closer towards the 30. Whew, got to catch my breath. Got to keep trading, baby. Let's go after that. Let's go back to Valero and see how that Valero trade is working here. And then, of course, taking a look to see what happened with that Dell. I never got that entry on Dell, but taking a look at it here, it's right back to that level here. So I got my chance here with Dell. Let me go ahead and take a shot here. Let me see if I can do it here, guys, really quickly. All right, let's see if I can get 20.07 here on the pullback. Low right now is 139.80s here, so I don't mind it there. Orders out there at 140.07 to fill me on the pullback. Let's see if I can get that pullback fill. Don't mind stepping up to the plate, maybe to the 18 here, but I'm just looking for a little bit of a pullback fill. I had that 39.80 still sitting out there. No fill on that one. Looking to get a little bit of a fill here. Let's see if we can get it. There it is. There's the fill, guys. Just got the fill there on Dell. Now you guys see it long right here at 140.05. Still got the order to add here at the 80s here. So if I do get the add order, I'm going to actually put it down here closer towards the 75s because it's at the low there off the 70. You see the 70 in the opening of the 22? So I want to get closer towards that 70 just in case I get the offer to jump closer towards that 70. and then I get an add here. Just got to make sure I keep the risk to return in mind like always. There's that tick down, spread tightening up a little bit here. Really looking for this to kind of get that 5-minute, kind of hold this low here, this 73. It could touch it, but I don't want to see a break. Even a wick there. No close below that 73 for me is what I'll be watching for. There's that wick towards 78. Now I get that fill at 78, kind of what I kind of was looking for here. Now I got to understand the risk here. I'm going to risk about $60 on this trade towards 139.30s. And there it goes, guys. It's trying to test that right now. I've just put it to 139.27s just to give myself a little bit of look in between the spread. Looking for a quick recovery here. If not, I'm going to cut out there for a $60 loss. Let's see what happens if this can get right back up towards the 140s. Still on Valero, I only got the 20 shares, guys. It's already back to 155.50s. So I do want to add on this one, but I need to be closer towards the 155. All right, going to see if this can recover really quickly here. Will it do a wick down and then get right back up there? So I really want to see it close back above the 73s on the 5-minute. Let's get back to Dell and show you guys that 5-minute chart here. 5-minute chart doing this kind of wick down, right? But if it breaks through this low, this 139.38, yeah, that starts breaking the chart. So looking for this to kind of wick right back up to that trend line that you have up here. Get back up there towards the 140.60s. Then you're looking good. We'll see what happens here on Dell. Taking a shot, guys. And I can look around here to take a look at Valero. See how that's going to move here. It's still looking pretty decent on the 5. I'd like to see a little bit more pullback to add a little more. But if it just goes to 157, hey, I'll just stick to my little 20 shares and just let this work. Because overall, this could make a nice daily move right back up there towards 160s. That could be about $5 up. Be $100 gain on the top end. Definitely getting that temp there on Dell. And there's the cutout there on Dell. So right off the bottoming there, bounce out. So got cut out there on Dell, lost about $60. Gave it a shot there for the break. It was an interesting setup there. Maybe I didn't give myself enough room there. Had about 100 shares there. Let's take a look there. Definitely taking about a $70 cut, down slightly today now. As I did give myself the cushion, I'm only down to about 36. So the battle's still on today. Let's go ahead. Let's get back to the green, team. Valero could be just that one that gets me back up. We'll see if that one starts working in my favor. Could also take a look at XLE to play on that energy exposure. Gush could be another way to maybe day trade this. XOM has been really strong, so I want to see XOM just take off to the 115. Chevron starting to make its way back here. PSX also. We'll look to see if we get some move in oil. Bullseye, bullseye. Green, 7 for 7, man. You're going to have to come on, my friend. CMG, where's the burrito? Nice shorts would have been perfect on burritos. Yeah, the burritos aren't looking too good right now. Looks like the guac isn't fresh today, man. Guac right back down, man. Back to the 63s. Looks like Chipotle getting the smackdown. All right, let's keep going. We'll see what else is out there. No guac for me on that one. And Dell is already coming back here. So maybe I got a little stop hunted off the support there. Should have maybe given myself a little bit of room closer towards that. I'm seeing 5,600 shares go through there at 47. We'll look to see if that starts to come back. You can see some buying starting to step up there. And it still doesn't look too bad, but I'm going to leave that one alone. Already took a little bit of a haircut. Maybe went too quick, too fast, right? Maybe the latter approach that I did on Valero would have been the better move. Always got to think about things and try to keep what? Learning, guys. Learning is what it's all about. All right, let's take a look here. It's Chipotle still going down there. We'll see what happens on that one. Definitely not seeing too much out there in the market overall. Cassie down now to 426. So that one got the flush. And look at Dell. It's right back up there, guys. It's back up to the 73s. So might have been just the wick stop out there towards that low, and then it comes right back up there. So, hey, that's how it goes sometimes. I'm going to leave it alone. I could get right back into the name and just kind of keep pushing towards that 140. You can see how this could have been that wick low to stop out some traders, and now it goes through that move towards 142. Doesn't look too bad. We'll see what happens. AMD still looking decent for that 160 break to the upside. Palantir now towards 25. Could get a little bit of a pullback, but not having a bad day. Shop is one that I'll look for that nice little next move. I have this on the swing trade, so I'm not going to take it, but doesn't look too bad there on Shopify. All right, let's take a look around and see what other trades I can find on the day. ATER was one that was a penny stock earlier. Going to look at some of the bigger names to see where those are moving. All right, let's take a look here. What other ones? Pan W showing up, of course. We talked about that one. And man, look at that one now towards 341. So shout out to Trader Prad that came in earlier today talking about this one. Gap fill now pushing strong up there to 341. How's Snow doing? Snow was one that I was going to look at for the reversal today. And now it's actually doing pretty well. Pulled back, now up there to the 132s. With that being said, you can look at CrowdStrike, right? Another one that would probably move very similar to that. And what about Zscaler? Relationships, guys. This is why it's important to know relationships sometimes. You talk about Pan W, you take a look at all of them. CrowdStrike, look at that. So if I was long on all these names, all the ones in the cyberspace, right? What would I be doing? Well, I'd probably be in the green, right? Even if you get one wrong, you might not get them all wrong, right? And that's what the algorithms have a tendency of doing. Trading like an algo, sometimes I say, is the best way to approach it. But like always, you guys take a look at what I'm saying. All right, and there you guys have it. Look at Dell right back to the 140s. So, hey, that's just how it goes sometimes, guys. It's right back to the 140s. It's actually looking pretty decent there. I'm not going to jump right back in it because I'm still in this Valero, but taking a look at see what other trades can make a move. Micron is back towards the 134 and kind of crack that level for the next layer for the move right back down towards 130. We'll see if it does and goes ahead and breaks to that 130. With that being said, NVIDIA here. What do? Do I short NVIDIA, man? I've talked about it on the playbook. I don't mind taking the shot here. Just got to be really tight with it. Just got to make sure that we break and don't recover that 125 because that 125 could easily be a recovery back up. It did wick through there right now. So you did try to do a breakout back to the upside there at the 125. You went to 124.96. So maybe we get one more attempt there and then the cut down. But let's see what happens here on NVIDIA. Will NVIDIA go down today, guys? I don't know, man. It's sideways right now. Just sideways. GME actually looking pretty good here, holding the 24.75 pullback and actually doing pretty well. So it could take the 25s and start rocking and rolling. Let's see what happens on GME. It's holding in the 9 EMA right now. It's kind of 24.70s. Let's take a look at the level 2. I want to see that. All right, guys. What am I seeing on GME? Not too much action. Not too much sizing either. So a lot of traders just not paying attention to it today. That tells me something. Maybe I should be the one that's paying attention to it. We'll find out. Pullbacks towards like 24.50s are the ones that make sense for me. If I buy right here, I'd have to go for the scalp action, right? Just to move back above 25, holding right below it. All right, looking around to see what else is making a move here today. Mara coming back down here. Hut coming back down. We'll see what happens on that one. GovX still showing up on the scanners. Still can make a move to the next layer. Kava right back down and right back up, guys. So that's how it goes sometimes. It washed me out. Now it's back through that 650s. We'll look to see if it keeps going through the 7. And there it is, back to the 680s. Can it get through the 7 spot? It has about a 7-cent spread here, so we'll look to see if it gets that momentum. Where's the volume? The volume's coming in with that move. That's one thing to note. We'll look to see if it actually makes the breakout here on Kala. Next layer to watch on Kala, I think it's 728s for the resistance to kind of break through 7 and keep going. We got up there towards 707 on the last run. So that's kind of like the top end for me right now on that name. Here's GME starting to pull back a little bit, looking around, team, trying to make some other trades. Definitely smash the like, guys. It's 10:45. I want to show you guys a couple of features that I've been using on Trade the Pool that you guys can do for yourself, right? And it's always cool to find out new ways to kind of set something up, right? Well, take a look at this, guys. If you go to the time and sales, right, on the Trade the Pool platform, right, you can go ahead and set up the time and sales the way that you like it. For me, I like to see the big orders. I want big orders to stand out to me. right? I could care less about smaller orders. And for this being said, since we're watching Kala and it's a fast mover, let's go ahead and put it up. So the yellow is going to represent a pretty big sizing there for me. Anything past like kind of the 1,000, 2,000 is going to give me that color approach, right? And so that's what I want to stand out. I want to see those big orders stand out to me. And really, sometimes on different trading platforms, I make all this 100 and 200 volume go away. That's the algorithmic volume. I could care less about that. I want to see those big orders, and when they're getting filled, that's a lot of times when I'm paying attention to, because the big boys tell me if they're going in there, if I'm seeing these yellows, that means the big boys are starting to play with this, and something that I want to pay attention to. So this is just one way to kind of take a look at that action. And you guys see it, it's approaching that break towards 7. And you see there's a lot of sizing, 2,000 shares going through, right? Those are the ones that I'm really paying attention to, not some of the smaller game. And you do this by how? Well, you want to right click your time and sales. You want to go to your settings, right? You want to go to your coloring rows. Coloring rows here is going to be very important, right? And so you can go ahead and set this up on different color schemes. You can do like 5,000 shares. You can do 10,000 shares. You can do 1,000 shares. So after 5,000 shares, I'll actually change it to a different coloring. So if it's at 5,000 shares, I want to see that blue background. If it's at 10,000 shares, I want to see a purple background. And so these are the coloring rows, and you have to set this up and apply it. But that's what I would say to check it out on the time and sales. You guys can definitely do this. And another thing, of course, is do what? Well, you can show like the real size instead of lots. That's what I like to do so that I can focus on it. But hey, check it out, team. You guys can take a look at this action and do very similar with the time and sales so that certain ones stand out to you. All right, guys, that's going to do it for that action on the time and sales action. But there's one more thing that I wanted to show you guys, and that's some hotkeys that you guys can be adding onto your Trade the Pool platform right here on the right-hand side of the chart. So what you got to do is you got to go to the settings, right? You got to go ahead and look here into the visual trading and different actions, right? There's going to be different things here that you guys can be looking through. If you haven't looked through before in the past, definitely take a look at it. But if you go to the chart order entry, you're going to see here, you can show order entry, right? You can definitely show that. But look at these hot buttons right here. So you have close, you have reverse, you have cancel buy, you have cancel sell, and cancel all available to you. How do you get them to show up? Well, you hit this right-hand side where the chart order is, and you can see right here, well, I have the cancel buy right there, the cancel sell right there, and cancel all. Just in case something happens, I can cancel all orders that are out. This is one way that you guys can be using some hot buttons, right? There you guys have it. Money Mitch, always trying to find some way for you guys to better use the platform and get some advantage. We'll see if this one goes through 7. It's trying there, guys. We'll find out. All right, guys, definitely smash the like, guys. There's nothing wrong with that. Basic hotkeys. I mean, you need the basic hotkeys, right? There's nothing wrong with that at all. And like always, it depends on what type of trader you are. Really, the only time I've ever used hotkeys where I was like hotkeying in is when I was a scalper. So maybe if you're a scalper, that's something that you need a little bit more advanced on. But to tell you the truth, for me, I don't really need hot buttons. I don't need it anymore. We'll see if Kala gets through that 7, gets that next layer, and really starts to push here. Like always, let's take a look at the market. Market overall, technology still leading, but now pulling back. Basic materials with a big push here. Paper and paper products. There's one stock that we were looking at even earlier that was making a little bit of a move here. SUZ, that volume there is definitely there in the paper products today. Silver doing well. Gold now starting to push. Building materials getting a nice little push. That's why it's so important to understand industry moves. Today is like a sector-wide move there, but there is some still down action in basic materials like coal, but this could actually turn around on the day. Utilities doing really well today also. XLU now starting to push to the 69. We'll look to see if that keeps going. It has made a big pullback in the past. Valero now holding in off that 155.60s. Of course, I got this from 154.96. Looking for ads down towards 155. Let's go to it because I want to cancel some of these ads. As it starts to come back, I can look to put them back on. But for right now, I'm canceling down the ads and looking for this to come back, and then I can add to it. So as it comes back towards my entry, I'll look to go ahead and add back down right below 155 is what I'm looking at. All right, guys, let's get after it, guys. MLGO on the hold down. Did it hold down? Yeah, it did hold down, and then it came back up. Man, this is one of those that, yeah, it'll get your heart rate going. That's for sure. All right, let's see if I can maybe take a little bit of a trade on this. If I wanted to take this trade, I would probably still be looking to the upside after that down hold. But that's just the way that I like it, because it can go back to an up hold there after it cut down. The key is you got to go off of the support. That was that 21 buy that I'm pretty sure you got the computers to kind of buy off that 21. So that 21 needs to kind of hold now. I wouldn't even want to see VWAP. I'd want to see it just go right back up. So let's see what happens on the MLGO. It's a tough trade, though. That's for certain. All right, what else is making a move there, guys? The CRM looking pretty decent. Look at that run on CRM. Look at the VWAP bounce. Big move up, pull back to VWAP, big move back up. Really nice trade on that. I got to be looking at a little bit more of these. You know, for a little while there, the penny stocks were doing really well, and I was doing pretty decent on them. But even I, myself, am getting to the point where I'm like, let's go back to the bread and butter, Mitch, which is, of course, some bigger stocks. That's why I do decent in Tesla, Palantir, things like that. Just because at the end of the day, these penny stocks, they're really hard. They're quick trades, guys. You got to be fast on these. Best Buy trying to go back through the 250 spot. Can't really do that. Like I thought, it just didn't have that much motor to keep going. We'll see what happens on that one. ELEV doing a little bit decent jump there. Not much. All right, guys, looking for you guys in the chat. What's up out there? A lot of you guys on X joining. Smash the like. Let me know. What are you guys taking a look on X? Hit the like. All right. Six Flags doing well. Mara starting to break down there. I've been looking for Mara to kind of really break down, and now it's starting to do a little bit of a cut down through. And of course, it's rejecting kind of a trend line up there towards the 20s. Could still continue to fall on the day, but it's kind of hard to come after it now because I'm just stuck in the middle. I hate being stuck in the middle. The pigs get stuck in the middle. I ain't no pig, man. I ain't no pig. Oink, oink. All right, guys, what are you guys taking a look at? Did Kala break through that? Ooh, it reloaded. It reloaded there, guys. There's shop, guys, on the downside action of things. I'm going to probably be adding the shop in a little bit here as it starts to come down. My swing trade side of things should be slightly red as it starts to go through the 65, and I'll be looking to add on shop back down and really got to risk off of this kind of 63 level. So we'll be watching shop on that. Amazon's one that I'm watching for a 200 run. That's actually done pretty well in the day, but starting to pull back a little bit here. The Qs are starting to pull back here. That's what we're getting, an overall market move down here. And look at that NVIDIA, guys. The short on NVIDIA was there for money, Mitch. He just didn't take it. The 125 short on NVIDIA. It already kind of broke down there. All right, so now I got to look for it if I want to, kind of more of the scalping look on NVIDIA as it keeps going lower. You can look at Micron for the short down, right back down towards that 130. That's another way to look at this. But yeah, starting to see some breakdown there in tech. And I've mentioned that maybe you'll see some rotation towards different names, like Apple actually going back to the green here today is one that I'd be looking at, just because that's what I see, guys. I see rotation getting away from some of those names and then catching with some other ones. We'll see what happens. Microsoft, names like that, I'm looking for them to stay hot. Google, stay hot, yet NVIDIA does the pullback. Qualcomm, another one that I'm looking for potential downside action to come in. And there's the cut down through the 197 today and all the way down to 196 already. So this is one way that I can take a look at, maybe even looking at the bearish side of things, the SOXS or the SQQQ. But if I expect rotation, that's not where it's going to go. It's probably going to go into a different rotation into tech. All right, let's see what else is making a move out there. AMAT, how's that on the downside? There's that breakdown, guys. Not looking too the best on that. ASML, it's another one that I could look at to see if some of these start to break down, right? But this one's so expensive. Whew. But could keep breaking down on the day. This is semiconductor equipment stock. All right, guys, looking around. What are you guys taking a look at? Pigs get slaughtered. Yes, they do. They do, my friend. Waiting to make the first 500K until I get back to Facebook to share the show. Yeah, man. Let me know, future day trade, when you get that first million of your billion, just give me a call, man. We got to go out on a yacht sometime. Valero here, guys, trying to pull back there. I'm trying to add to this, guys, but I want to add to it near my entry, not just jump up, not just try to overexpose myself early on a name like Valero. We'll see what happens, guys. Thing is, Valero moves has a tendency of kind of giving these quick drives, and then it doesn't go back to those levels. We'll see what happens. I know you got me, future day trader. No worries. Get after it, my friend. Six Flags. What's up with the Six Flags? It's up there to 32, man. That's not a bad one to keep a radar on. And then let's take a look there at Planet Fitness. This had gotten a good upgrade, but pretty much has gone sideways since then. A move back above the high, the 75, actually makes sense here. And just recently pulled back to the 90 EMA. Now it's trying to make a move to the upside, but just kind of going sideways here. Doesn't look bad to maybe take that move back up, hold that bottoming action, and then start to work its way back towards 75 here. Not a bad one, just not much on the green side of things, right? There's a risk to return that I always think about, right? This would be kind of risking about, 10 cents here for a move, about 20 cents, and then towards the dollar break, which is $1.20. So more of a swing trade approach for me on this Planet Fitness, and it just needs to hold the 90 EMA on pullbacks. You got to read this book, The One Thing by Gary Keller. I got you, man. I love reading books, man. I'm gonna take a look at it, man. If you recommend it, I'll definitely take a look, see what I do. I've been doing a lot more audiobooks with the twins, right? And trying to kind of still learn while I'm, taking care of them and things like that. So, hey, take a look at that, guys. MBIO, back to this 50 cents here, guys. Will it make a move today? We'll see what happens. MLGO, back down to the 2130s. Testing that 21 again, and it even wicked down below that 21. So let's see what happens here on MLGO. If it wants to start working its way back and holding this 21, or will it cut down and just break down from here on out? It could very much do it. I mean, that was a pretty big blow off top off the 15-minute. Now you're approaching kind of this support around the 1950s and also this wick here. So somewhere in between there, I could look for it to kind of find some bottoming, but it's not going to be an easy one, that's for sure. If I want to try to trade this, got to be careful. You can listen to it on YouTube as well. Hey, great to hear that, man. I'll definitely take a look. I love my YouTube action. I even get YouTube Premium, so I don't have to watch the commercials. But hey, that's just me. That's the reason why I think Google is going to keep going, man. This could be one that I can maybe take a look at. This one's actually holding the 5-minute pullback action pretty well here. With a Google trade like this, I usually just go big and looking for the quick trade back up to the resistance. So it would be a move back up to this level right here, this 187.43s. So let me see if I can get 186.90s on the pullback and go for a Google trade. I haven't taken a Google trade in a while here, guys. Let's see if I can get it. All right, looking for the move right back below the 187 here to pull back to the 90 EMA, and then using that 90 EMA to really kind of take the trade, right? And so I don't want to get caught above the 187. The 187 can hit the 187.14 really quickly. I'm looking for a small little pullback and then the break to the upside. We'll see if we get it. 5 minutes still has the 186.75, just kind of going sideways here. So definitely getting that opportunity here for a little bit of a dip back below the 187. It could even go lower. So I'm looking for the pullback right now to the 9. The 9 EMA is 186.92. See if we can get a quick little dip here back towards like this 186.90s and then back up to the 187. There's 187 starting to show up there. Still looking for the dip back into the 90s there. How's the Qs overall here? Are the Qs wiping out? Because that's another thing to look at, right? It needs to kind of start working its way back up. Apple's another one that I was looking for it to start working its way. You can see how this is kind of creating a little bit of a inverse head and shoulders on the 1 minute. It would hit here and then come back up to the 214. We'll see if that actually happens here. Valero is just sitting off that 155, 60s, and it could just start going up, but I'm not going to jump up here and ruin my average. All right, MLGO back towards the 2012s now and went through that 1957. So just be careful out there, traders. That one's moving all around, and you never know exactly where MLGO is going to end up on the day. Google. Hit that 90 for a second. Hit 186.80s here. Let's back towards the 187 here. This is where I can maybe take my shot here in Google to the upside here. Let's go ahead. I took a little starter there at the 187, looking to add a little bit here. Let's see if this can really kind of get going. The 5-minute has a nice little candle that I'd like to see hold right here. This 186.80s, not come back to the VWAP. It could make a recollection at the VWAP. That's 186.70. 186.70. So I'm keeping that in mind here. Let's see if we can start getting back above the 187 and just make an attempt here for the 187.50 move. All right, there you go. Now back above that 187. Now on 187 pullback, I can add another 100 shares or something like that. And then just look for the move back towards 187.50s. Pullback levels, looking for this to come back here towards 186.90s. We'll see what happens. And then holding that 186.83s. All right, guys, setting it up here. You guys see it right now. I'm trying to set up for some dip buys, and I can always add here on the market. There's the 187.11s, now 187.14, so actually looking pretty decent now. Now I can really look for pullbacks towards 187 to add here. All right, got some ads out there looking to add on this order and keep riding it higher back towards the 187.50s, but there's 187.20s. Might have to actually step up here, but I'm looking for pullbacks to fill me. Let's see if I get the pullback opportunities. And there you guys have it. You know what? Let's do that hot button approach here, guys, to get in and out of this trade. How about we do that? Since we taught on this today and it's 11:02, how about I show you guys this as I start to kind of keep working? I need to get out of here, guys. It's 11, so need to wrap it up, guys. It's been a crazy day for me, just trying to trade and keep battling here on the day, but just looking to go ahead and just get this nice little pop there. No pullback fill right now, but you see the close button? I could close the trade right here. Or I can reverse the trade, or I can cancel these buys, right? Or cancel all the buys, right? Look, watch this. Boom. Oh, not a bad little button to have there, right? Guys, showing you guys some tips out there. Smash the like. All right, guys, definitely hit the like, guys. I'm trying to show you guys the education style of things, guys, and then that's what it's all about sometimes, guys. So let's see if I can get this push here towards the 187.50s, get a little breakout above here and just take the profits and run. I'm going to go ahead and set the profits there towards 187.60s, maybe a little bit higher for the time being. If I can just let this start to run here, I can put it up there and then just pull it back down as it starts to break. There's that nice little move to 187.30s. Can look for ads on pullbacks. It's been a great day. You guys see both positions here on the day trade side of things. Going to switch it over to the swing trade side of things to take a peek, guys. Of course, you guys heard earlier today, a lot of positions on there, guys. These are 4 of the 6, guys. Affirm down big, but we got Palantir, AMD in the green, Shop. With those 3 back into the green, going to look to add on Affirm later in the day. But that's what it's all about, guys. Showing you guys it all. That's what I'm here for. I will continue doing it. All you guys tuning in right now on X, on YouTube, hit the like button. Also, hit the comments. Let me know what you guys want to see more of. I'll keep showing you guys different features on Trade the Pool's platform so that you guys can use it to your best ability. I hope you guys enjoyed today's action, enjoyed my conversation with Michael earlier today. If you guys didn't catch it, definitely hit the like button. But like always, guys, we got a lot more for you. So smash that trumpet. Keep it going, team. There's always a lot for you guys right here on Trade the Pool. See you guys back in the morning. So much trading action going on.